Hey guys, so now the recording has started, and let us go again to this. So first of all, thanks to Nick. The last time we were trying to do backup, and then I said in the class that hey, let's not go ahead because it's not gonna let you delete some files for 14 days. But Nick found a way to delete those, and Microsoft do have a way now. In previous courses, so many students tried as well, but there was no way. Then one student actually asked support as well, and they said, "Hey, wait for 14 days." So then we all got quiet. I thought that would be still the same, unless they have just allowed us now to read it before 14 days. So that's the case now, and thank you, Nick, for sharing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna click the enable the editing. So, obviously, our favorite place to go in Azure is our accounts. And what have we been charged till now would be kind of concerned now. It's something that I was, saying way back that, okay, we're going to be charged. It's pay as you go, but we're going to be learning by doing it. If that's the rule, then let's try to, know, like no fear is the name of the game, but we have to be careful as well. So I'm just gonna open that and check it out because last time what we were doing, we were actually creating a partner standby virtual machine in the Canada East. Our active virtual machine was in Canada Central region. Right? So that definitely would be trust. And but once you go through it, that knowledge and that experience is always beneficial uh, because just seeing it, you would get sooner. When you do it yourself and then delete it, it will remain in your mind for longer time, especially during the interview times. If you've done something that can be recalled, I've gone through so many interviews, and sometimes I question comes and I was not even ready for that kind of question, technical question and scenario. But somehow, somewhere, I had done it before, so I was able to recall majority of it and just say that, oh, this has happened, this works this way, and this is a solution for that thing. Learn by doing is the best way to learn. But now I'm just gonna, since I'm logged in now, I'm just gonna go to this management costs. If I go to the portal menu, it's the way down here, cost management plus billing. And oh no, please have mercy on me. Oh, okay, 34 cents. So, hey, guys, anyone more than that? I think there are many. Those who are practicing. So anyone who was charged more than that, you can just put in the chat as well. Um, so anyone who got charged more than 34 cents, like auto pay, oh, like it's gonna grab it from my credit card. I mean, 34 cents, yeah, sure, go ahead. At least this much Microsoft deserves from us. But Scotia says $7. Hmm. Now, is it because, okay, you were saying you have deleted the machines, but maybe I'll just remotely connect by after the end of the class and we can still visit. Guys, so what resources were charged? They always show up here. Now, this one's stock products by charges, virtual machines, and then DAF 4 series. 44 cents is predicted that will be charged, and premium SSD 10 cents. So you can see that during the class, we were using virtual machines with SSD managed disks. So overall, whatever we did during 4 hours, it's 10 cents worth. So other purchases 0.02 cents. So the only difference between my doing the labs and your doing the labs, if you are repeating the labs, you're doing the assignments as well. So you're again doing the same thing. Obviously, what I got, you will get double of that. Other than that, if something was by mistake left, uh, that would also be um, contributing to more. Now, if that is, obviously, it's a concern that more and more charges are accumulating. So, my suggestion would be to go for simulation style where you don't get charged. But this is the real environment. In my company, I'm doing this in Azure, and exactly this is how I'm doing. I mean, like there's simulation. We can't really learn what's happening actually in the company. Although it pretty much looks like the same. The simulation environment looks same. Uh, it doesn't react the same. Anyway, we talked about that. So, yes, further then I'll remotely connect to that by at 2 o'clock to your screen, and then we can just check all these areas. Where is it accumulating from? Maybe there's some resource that's still there and it's still being charged. So it's in storage, in network cards. We need to just check out. Also, Oladapo said last class he mentioned about all resources. So yeah, we would have obviously checked that too. So what all resources we have that would have caused it. Okay. So, but the thing is, I salute your dedication. Many of you are working really, really hard, and I'm really sure that you're going to be getting good jobs sooner. There's a bunch of more factors really that affect that. Anyway, I am seeing that obviously some of you are really working very hard. Guys, also job recommendations come from my friends from different companies. I keep sending them to those I think I can refer. So obviously, when I tell this to the friend or whoever is asking that, hey, this is the how much that this student has done, and it looks like it's a good fit, but good luck with the interview. So the thing is, keep working hard, and it's going to definitely give you the reward. I haven't seen anyone who really worked hard during courses, many courses, and not having a job now. But the thing is, you have to understand. If you understood what did you perform in the interviews, that's how it depends on. Okay, so for this is since I disabled the subscriptions as well, so no more charges since last 2 days. Oh, okay. But as soon as you open the subscription, yeah, so we need to get to the bottom of it. If you are able to investigate by yourself, just check all the things. Otherwise, let me know. Okay. So, guys, let's go ahead. And we were talking about, um, okay, so the slide, figure SSO, yeah. Assignment, I think majority of you have submitted this assignment already. So we'll go, guys. Uh, I had to go for now. There were two more job interviews. I keep giving job interviews, right? I just keep applying and keep giving job interviews just for the sometimes just to grab some more information, what's going on in the market. Sometimes if it's a good opportunity, why not jump on it? So automation is one more thing that uh, I've been saying before. So Terraform and PowerShell, those we can do automations as well. So whatever task we have done till now can all be done in PowerShell as well. So whichever task we click, can be done in PowerShell. So that's kind of an automatic assignment to you that whatever we did till now, we created a virtual machine, we created users, we deleted users, we deleted virtual machines. So try to do it with PowerShell, all the tasks, right? So all depends on your 200% effort that you're gonna put to it. Okay, thing to research for you, yeah, this was something that is already there. I'm just removing the previous slide. Rule of thumb, yeah, okay. Eyes on the prize, 50 per hour job. Did I not mention it? 50 per hour job. Okay. Um, and then there is that very, very professionally made diagram that I always use. So other than that, Azure Active Directory is also in Azure IaaS. Yeah, I should remove that. Let's create a cost alert. We have a cost alert, and this is working. I mean, like, it is sending us alerts. Other than that, standby backup in different clouds as well. So, okay, we were talking about last time. Um, Different clouds. Companies have AWS, companies have Azure, companies have Google Cloud. Some companies actually have all three. Some services are being used in AWS, some services are being used in Azure, and some in Google Cloud. And some have two cloud providers, AWS and Azure. Some have other two, Azure and Google Cloud. So it depends on which company feels more comfortable with which cloud, which Google Cloud, seriously, which cloud. So obviously AWS is still the top, in the cloud, and since the market is about Microsoft in GTA, in North America, actually, there are more jobs for Microsoft. So I've been concentrating on Microsoft courses. Otherwise, I'll be starting again. I used to teach AWS Solutions Architect Associate and then Azure Admin AZ-104. So you would then be comparing both worlds. That why AWS is on the top. There's the big reason AWS is still the top cloud service provider. Okay, so I'll be starting that course soon again. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove that. What we would like to explore more features of VM. Yeah, we were doing that. But then we started. We talked about blueprints as well last class. So when you want to create a full environment, hey, let's add a policy. Let's create several resource groups, and let's create this many subnets, VNets. So then you go for blueprints. It's kind of you design something and then it implements it for you. Right? So we talked about that last time, but we were going to be doing that as well. True, false, we can add network card while VM is powered on. So yeah, you already answered that. In fact, I was thinking of another true false here, and you can answer quickly. Okay, so Sonia says to do in PowerShell, we have to buy storage, right? Yeah. For PowerShell, you can actually configure it in your laptop and connect to Azure. And then, if you use Cloud Shell, yes, then it will create a storage account in the background that will charge. But if you have, um, if you can connect from laptop, which I think we did before, but I can show you again. Also, Nick has shared the full PowerShell command for uh, creating a virtual machine. That is on the Microsoft PowerShell documentation as well. This will create a 2016 standard server in PowerShell with the AZ module installed at AZ account. So yeah, all this, when you give the commands, then first you have to connect with laptop, so you don't need Cloud Shell, which means no storage account, no charges. Yeah, how to connect to the laptop, I'll be showing that, and then we will, you know, then you will be able to do all the commands to your laptop storage. Okay, so we'll be doing that, and thank you, Nick, for sharing that. Okay, guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead now, and we have a last class. We also said, okay, and true or false pop-up pops up. I'll be asking that. Every VM has a public and private IP. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. So every VM has a public and private IP. We know that. So I'm just going to go ahead now. And Bastion subnet, we will be doing that, but we did discuss that last time. See, this lab is still upcoming, so no problem. Please go through all the labs of backup in this URL. Must do. Okay, this MS Labs has free labs as well. If you see the whole backup lab there, you can also repeat it there. So we're going to do that. If you see the lab for what we're about to do quickly, we should start actually. So that is the high availability of the virtual machine across two regions. Then if they have the lab, they will explain with steps as well, but obviously this would be pictures. But you get a very good idea, and then we can actually implement those pictures here as well. Can Windows Admin Center manage an Azure VM? This is another task. We know we can configure auto shutdown feature to shut down the machine at a specific time. Can we auto start the VM at specific time? Hey, this wasn't that difficult. So it has become red now. Anyone who wants to break the bubble on this, let me know. If you have done that, okay. So Fahad says I don't have access to the OneNote. Oh, Fahad, I did not create OneNote. I'm putting all this in the LMS. As in previous year, I was actually doing that on OneNote, and everyone was connecting through that OneNote. But I found some, issues there. You So that's why this year I did not start with OneNote. Performing analysis links have issue with Windows Admin Center. So Nick says having issue with Windows Admin Center. Okay. Well, the thing is, it's still under development, but for this task. So, guys, this is a red one, and let's see who breaks the bubble. But because this is not difficult, I mean, red one. So I'll just put that and say in the chat, go for the red assignment. And anyway, let's go ahead, guys. And we were gonna start the the backup the high availability of the virtual machines, right? Storage tiers, we talked about storage tiers as well. There's a hot tier, there's a cool tier, but that storage topic will come, and then we'll again discuss that. So that is just because the terminology came, so we started it. Concentration VM replication, this is what we were doing, and we need to start that. I need to start that quickly. On-prem to cloud replication. Okay, this is what one student asked, and we will be doing that too. That we're going to create our on-premises virtual machine, and we're going to make a copy its partner machine in the cloud. We're going to fail over. So, but we are doing the failover in the cloud right now. I'm going to go ahead and cross-region VM replication. So what's the scenario here? Scenario is, okay, after so many slides, what we do today is that cross region VM replication, and let's start this process soon as it takes time. Objective is to show how to fail over from one VM to another. Okay, so what's going on in English? I'll explain now. That English means that in easier terms, what we're about to do is that we have here Azure clouds, and suppose here we have Canada Central region, and here we have Canada East region, and Canada and the US East region is here as well. So Canada East region. The region is just a big physical area which is divided into availability zones, smaller physical areas, and they're divided into data centers. So and Canada, oh sorry, that is east because on the right side, so it should be west. And Canada West, I'm just making it different. Canada West region and East US region. So what we're doing is we are basically connecting to the Canada Central region. Oh, seriously? Yes. Is there a Canada West region? No? Is there a Canada West region? No, exactly. Which regions are there in Canada? After there are two regions. Oh, there you go. Central and East. There you go. Okay. So Canada Central. So this means Microsoft has not created the West. Depends on business, more businesses on the east. That's why there are more data centers in central and east. Okay, so Canada Central region, we are connecting to Canada Central region, and we will be creating a virtual machine now quickly, as we have created so many times. So this virtual machine that we will create in Canada Central region, we will consider it as active machine. So what happens with the active machine? And we're about to create a passive machine in Canada East region. Right? So, okay, active machine and passive machine or standby machine. We may have discussed that before as well. Passive slash standby VM. So, some questions about it, if you can answer. The first one is, what does active do? So, yeah, so current machine. Active does what? Current machine, yes. It does what? You know? Why do we call it active? Why don't we call this as passive as well or standby as well? And standby. We call it active for a reason. What's the reason? First machine doing what? Even right. Okay. Yeah, we're working with exactly. So end users are connected there. Clients, customers are connected here. So what is passive doing? What's the purpose of passive machine? Is async. Okay, async is actually the final answer. Yeah, you just gave the final answer already. What does that really mean? I mean, async? Async what? It's a standby second machine. Okay, standby backup machine. We got it. Uh, what is continuously happening between active and passive? No customers connecting here, but there's something going on between active and passive. What is that thing going on between active and passive all the time? Replication, exactly. Synchro, exactly. So, guys, there are two types of replications. Synchronous replication and asynchronous replication. So, which one is it? And how do you know that? What's the difference? Synchronous replication and asynchronous replication. There are two types of replication. So, which replication is going on between these two guys? Across 2,000 kilometers. This is central region like Ontario and Quebec, and east region actually further than Quebec. So there's a lot of distance. Okay, so fast is active is sync and passive is async. Hmm, well, well, one of the said it. Synchronous is real time. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of active, and but it doesn't really explain that. But you're very near, definitely. So exactly, Rodapus is real time. Fuzzy says synchro real time, and async is opposite of real time. Okay, so there's a delay. Exactly. So synchronous replication is real time or same time replication. Same time replication. It if it is same time, so no data loss. But it doesn't no data loss, and also requires a lot of bandwidth. If these two virtual machines were in a local data center on LAN is the fastest network, right? WAN is the slow network. Right? So no data loss, same time both machines are being copied. Whatever is going on, whatever changes are going on here are at the same time written or copied here as well. So this requires a lot of replication, and this requires a lot of bandwidth, right? So asynchronous replication. So obviously this is done in LAN with fast network. So that's the difference then. Now we're talking here, when we're talking cloud, we're talking LAN. The WAN, right? We're talking WAN. Uh, my colleague's name is Aaron Van. So, exactly. Asynchronous activate by admin and write is the only change data. Exactly. So the thing is that it happens on WAN, a slow network because there's a huge distance, right? This means there is a data loss, and if the active region has an outage or passive region has an outage, Microsoft officially says in the documentation there will be data loss if the data was being asynchronously replicated. So it is a delayed replication. First, it just makes sure that the replication is done in the active. Then it sends the replication to the data copy to the passive machine as well. And it can happen on WAN and requires less bandwidth. So it does not require high bandwidth, or less bandwidth is good as well. So exactly, wide area network versus local area network. Azure is activate by admin and write is the only change data. Yep, so only deltas or changes are done. So guys, in the cloud, obviously we have synchronous replication. Uh, when when a slow network requires, oh, did I say it wrong? Uh, does not require uh, like what bandwidth is not supported. Okay, let me just say it this way because this is getting confusing. More bandwidth is not a lot of bandwidth or high bandwidth or a lot of bandwidth is not available. So it is slow, right? Over the WAN, if you try to copy a 1 terabyte file, so good luck, or a 500 GB file or 200 GB one file, so it might not even reach, or it will take long time. Yeah, you can use that software where it cuts the files into smaller pieces and then slowly tries to. If you just copy the whole file, they don't even support that copying a big file. They just disable that replication option for you. If you say that I have a big file to copy or big files to copy. Yeah. So requires more bandwidth. Exactly. Requires more bandwidth. Yep, you're right. Okay, guys, this is it. We're going to be creating a virtual machine that is in Canada Central because we are in Canada Central. We are in Ontario. And so we're going to create a Canada Central machine, and partner will be created in Canada East because we want to follow a policy called. Who knows that policy? What is the name of the policy that we want to follow? The policy that requires us to use the regions within our country. Anyone remembers that? Uh, so yeah, residence. The word residence is there. Yes. What's the name of the policy? I'll be explaining that. Data residency policy. The data residency will follow that. This means that your data cannot leave the country, right? So that's why we're gonna make a copy of the virtual machine there. So yeah, Fahad, I think my wording would have been confusing. WAN is a slow network, LAN is a fast network. So more bandwidth is available where? LAN. And less bandwidth is available where? WAN, right? So if there is not a lot of bandwidth, how can huge data travel? How can we have same time replication? So less bandwidth is available, more bandwidth is not available. So that's how it is written there. But obviously, it's just we're talking about WAN, slow network, which cannot offer more bandwidth, right? So, okay, guys, this is it. Let's do it. East US region, yeah, we could have created a copy to one in Canada Central and one in East US, but we're following the data residency policy, which means our data cannot leave the country. That's the policy of majority of the companies. So let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll copy this in the slide, and then I'll put this slide where? In the L, M, and S. So let's go ahead and yeah, there's okay. So that's the discussion, that's the diagram, and let's go for the practical. So the practical, I'm going to go to the Azure, and then I'm going to implement this. Okay, so let's go to the virtual machines. Now we've done that in 3 classes. So we first go to the portal menu, we go down to the virtual machines, and then we start creating a virtual machine. Now I'm going to go a bit faster because we've created that so many times, right? So I'm going to click that, and we're done. They're not that fast. So I'm going to go a bit slower than that. So I'm going to go for Azure Virtual Machine here. But some things you have to still keep into account and keep in mind. So the precautions during creation of fast virtual machine. If we are creating it, the word is fastly. Fastly. There's no such word. Okay, so resource group. Today's resource group is RG-12 November 2022, and your first name, SONK. Virtual machine, your first name, VM01, or whatever name you want to give. Canada East. Hey, have been. Okay, I'm gonna go for Canada Central, right? We've been using Canada Central till now. Canada Central. Actually, that's nearer to us. We are in Canada Central, seriously. Okay, so and availability sets, we don't need to use that now, but availability zones and scale sets we will be using soon. In next labs, I thought that we will be jumping on next step by today, but we're still in the virtual machine features section. Okay, so image, I'll just go for 22 data center Gen 2, and we could actually go for, you know what, let's just go for something lighter. Windows 11 Pro, pretty much the same thing, just some kind of operating system, but yeah, it still suggests me 2 vCPUs. 8 GB memory, but I can go for also, it doesn't give me the 1 GB vCPU and 4 GB RAM. Maybe in the, how much does that in the free version? Okay, guys, so username, password, we always give user your first name, admin, and password, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123, without shift 123. Class password, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123, without shift 123. And oh, what? From password. Oh, they should be similar. Small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123, without shift 123. Small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123, 123. So we haven't, okay, inbound rules. Yeah, it's just RDP, which is okay. May not be, we're not gonna really connect to the virtual machine. So whatever port is selected is okay. And we didn't bring our license, so no problemo here as well. I confirm I have an eligible Windows 10 11 license with multi-tenant hosting. Okay, do we have to confirm? Oh, there's a red star here. Seriously, with multi-tenant hosting rights. I don't have a license. Okay, if I click next disks, does it let me go ahead? Oh, it does. So I did not click that. Okay. But let's see. So yeah, premium disk is okay. Managed disk is okay, and don't need another disk. We did that lab before. How to add another disk? How to add another network card? Just gonna click next. Networking. And virtual network. So VNet, yes, this topic is still upcoming. How to create VNets. Subnet is okay. Public IP, yes, it's okay. We can connect over the internet. And the NSG we talked about before. We don't need to go inside the NSG. Public inbound ports is just RDP. We're not going to really connect to the RDP. But delete public IP, this needs to be selected. This should be selected. So delete public IP and NIC when VM is deleted and enable accelerated network. Okay, so load balancing still an upcoming lab. Hopefully today we'll do that. So right now we're not selecting that. Management, identity, agility, no. Auto shutdown, no. Site recovery, no. Guest OS updates, no. Nothing in the management page. We talked about that in detail in previous classes. Monitoring, we did know how to create an alerts for that, so we don't need to do it now. We don't want diagnostics, so I'm just going to disable that and enable was guest diagnostics. If you want any kind of log files created for diagnostics, obviously you select that and then it creates a storage account for you, which will be charged. Okay, so I'm just disabling that. Advanced extensions, VM applications, no. Custom data, no. User data, no. Performance, NVMe, host, capacity reservation, proximity placement group, no. No, and no. Well, next. Then you can just put here manager, John, branch, this department, sales, whatever you want to put in the name and value. You can put that. Review plus create. Now it's going to review and it's going to say that, hey, you have to, there was a red star there, which I left for Windows 10 and 11. Okay, so they say you're bringing a license. I hope that doesn't cause us any problem, but yes, uh, I confirm I have an eligible Windows 10 11 license. Actually, this is a trial version we are using, so we're not even going to use that actually. We're just creating a virtual machine with some operating system inside. So selecting that should not be a issue. All right, so then once this is selected by going back to the basics page, then I'm just going to go directly to the end of it, which is view plus create and 8. All right, so validation should succeed now. Validation pass, yay! Okay, in the morning it's always, not straight yet. Okay, so once that is done, let us keep on talking about the virtual machine features as well because we need to now finish the topic. There are some bigger labs waiting for us. Okay, so Fahad says, did you enable disaster recovery? So Fahad, after the machine is created, we can also enable at that time. So I did not enable disaster recovery here. So cool. And let's click create. So Microsoft has really improved its way of Way of the Dragon. No, don't say. So it really improved its timing for creating a virtual machine, and it has gone a bit faster than previous years when we used to just sit and I used to think that I should move away from. I was going to say Scarborough, but already moved from Scarborough to Etobicoke, which even has bandwidth, internet. Seriously, it depends on the building, right? Okay. So anyway, so Naveed has shared a screenshot, and oh, I think yeah, that's the same thing that Fauzi was saying last class. So Naveed, you have to enable the subscription to go ahead. So Nick also says that uh, I get that also. Guys, this means that your free trial is finito, right? So you have to go for the pay as you go now. And how to go to pay as you go? Oh, how to go to pay as you go? So that would be something that I can tell you when one of you can share the screen and I can tell you, or what? Go to services, try subscription and reactivate. Oh, there you go. Fahad has mentioned that. Oh, okay. So Fahad is guessing that. Thank you for verifying that you were guessing. Come on, man. I was gonna just recommend that and go ahead. I guess no, I was gonna still show that. So virtual machine is great for us, but guys, those who got disabled subscription because your 1 month free trial with $200 credit is now gone. It's ended. So guys, go here. Those now it's not for everyone. Virtual machines credit, we know that it's running. We know that. But those who got the subscription disabled, you need to do is this. You can follow me. So you can just if this subscription not showing here, then you can type the subscription here. Follow the yellow key. So go to the subscription, and once you go to the subscription, it shows disabled here, right? You for Nick and Naveed. In that case, I think I am right because mine is enabled. Oh, okay. It is active. What? Nick says that it is active now. Okay, so it's active now. Okay, what about you, Naveed? If you go to the subscription, it is active now, then yeah, we don't need to do anything. Otherwise, you need to go ahead and create subscription and then go for pay as you go. And pay as you go, you have to add your credit card just like all others have already done. So, oh, okay, so Naveed is still saying that his subscription is just A and both. So this subscription, if it is disabled, then Naveed, you have to create a new subscription. Either you keep sharing your screenshots or you can share your screen within WebEx, and I can tell you go there, do this, go there, and it's going to be recorded as well. So you're going to be celebrity. Uh, just kidding. So anyway, the thing is that I can show you, I can just tell you, and then you can tell me where you are, or you can, oh, there you go. Share your screen. Okay, so now, you want to be a celebrity. Okay, so here, disabled it is, and then we can go to add the subscriptions. You can click the add button. Yeah. And in the ad, billing profile, enter the name of the subscription. Okay. Is create a subscription. Yeah. Upgrade your account before adding a new subscription. Okay. Upgrade. Sorry, Naveed, there's an upgrade as well. Go for upgrade. There's an above button on the top. Yeah, this one. The top. It says upgrade now. So click that. Yes, this one. Clicking on your subscription. And there you go. That's what I wanted to show actually. So it says that, hey, you do want to support. You want a support, and support packages are like this. So you can go at the bottom and you will see no support, which is free, right? So just click no support. That's it. Upgrade to pay as you go is the blue button at the bottom. So click that blue button at the bottom. Down. Yeah, there you go. Upgrade to pay as you go. And then you can share your credit card. We can all then do some shopping today. It's weekend anyway, and it's Black Friday coming. So, okay, I'm just kidding. So if it comes to asking for credit card, hey, did it ask for that? New subscription. There's a on the top right. Okay, go to the bell icon on the top, the left side. Yeah, this one. And there's a view subscription. Yeah, with that. Yeah, okay, because we don't need to create another subscription. Seriously, is that what is it? It is showing for the previous subscription. $23, $5. This is, I think, the previous subscription. So you've upgraded it to pay as you go, 52 spending rate and forecast. Azure plan. It says Azure plan, and on the right side, change directory, cancel subscription. We go down a little. Okay, so let's go to the subscription console again. Let's go to the portal menu and then click the yellow key again, the subscription. Portal menu and then home, home and subscriptions. Yeah. Now you have, I think that's the same subscription, and that is that free one, right? So you don't have to really pay for that. I think let's just delete that, then just create a new subscription because it, I think, did not give you the pay as you go. So let's just delete that. Are you able to delete this subscription? This is, you don't need to pay that because it was a free one, right? You had a one free trial, right? That's why. So you're not able to delete that. That means normally we upgrade it, but it's not taking you there as well. That's where I'm also stuck. So this is disabled, and we can just go for add and go for pay as you go, but keep this one disabled. Okay, so we're back to where we were. And yeah, so name a subscription. You can just name it yourself as you go, or name and pay as you go. Yeah. Okay. And go down to plan. So what is the plan you're taking? No, no, no. The plan. Yeah, this one. Oh, that's the only thing it's showing. Invoice section, billing account. Yeah. Okay, next. Let's see what different subscription. So subscription directory is this, root management group is this, subscription owner is this. It's not really asking data pay as you go subscription. Okay, next. This is tags and it's not really asking, it's not giving that wizard that I really wanted to see. No, it's not this. So back again, previous. There's a blue link. Yeah, that's what we clicked before. Okay, go previous. Yeah, on the top, previous, and oh, that's it. A different type of subscription. This one. And there's a blue link. Add a different type of subscription. Naveed at the bottom, and the right side. Add a different type. There's a link. A little up. Yeah, there you go. So click that. Let's. Yeah, okay. Every 3 to 6 months, Microsoft keeps changing their wizards. Oh, there it is. There it is. Pay as you go. Free trial. Don't try this again. I mean, like it's gonna actually. It's not even letting you select. Yeah, it says you are not eligible. Yeah, go for pay as you go. This is what I wanted to see. Thanks. Uh, Here's the day again. And yeah, we're not looking. Bird. One. Okay. Guys, those whose free trial will be ending, you will have to do this. And create a subscription. Seriously, it takes you back to the same. Okay, but this is pay as you go, and you already had your credit card added, so it's not going to ask you. Okay, so this is it. Azure plan, next, next, finish. That's it. Next, next. So that's the pay as you go. And it should just create another subscription. And through that subscription, you can create virtual machine and you will be as careful as we are since last 3 classes. All right. So once this subscription is created, then go to the virtual machine and okay, there you go. It's created. Now go to the virtual machines and when you create this subscription should show there. Yeah, and now yeah, you have to just go through the whole. Go back and see. Oh, one more thing. Can you go back to the subscription? Oh, yeah. So it says, like, seriously, did not add. I don't want you to work on Azure. Microsoft has totally said if it's Naveed, no way are we letting him do anything here. It's kind of that. Um, Pretty strange. I think sign out, sign in, restart machine, everything. There was a requirement again to select a pay as you go. Yeah, this one, right? We just went through that. Hey, oh, okay. Uh, yeah. So I'll just share my screen and you know the whole process. Let me know if you still need help. But we just need to connect to the ANG. So yeah, I'll just share my screen, but let me know, maybe we need help. You should have another subscription created, unless the last one was not free and you have to pay first that and then go ahead. I don't think that's happening. But the last one was, I think, your free trial. So if it had gone had a free trial ended, and then you kept on using machines, and then it started charging you. So it could be that too. I'm not sure right now because it's not giving you the correct options. Okay, so guys, virtual machine is created, but let me know if you find something and you're able to create a new subscription or you need an older one. And try to check if your current subscription that shows $58 is that related to free trial, or is that related to an actual paid one? Then at the end, Naveed, you have to talk to the support. And if it's something that they require you to pay, many students in the past, they talk to the support, hey, I was just testing the environment and I had a free trial, and why are you charging me this? So then they waive your charges right away if you create a ticket with support. The ticket with support is, you can see Naveed this total menu, and at the end, help us support. That do I have to pay that, and why can I not create subscription? So yeah, help plus support, just create a ticket there, and they will, if they require you to pay that, then just tell we're just testing, please just, remove these charges. Yeah, try to be please, 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 and they will definitely remove the charges. Yeah. Okay, guys. So if there's a troubleshooting with subscriptions, that's how we need to resolve it. So that's why I kept on recording this one as well, because any one of you could be stuck with this, and if even they don't let you create a new subscription, then what you need to do in that case. So that's all recorded, so you can always refer to this video as well. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to go over the virtual machines, because my virtual machine is running right now in the Canada Central region, and it is standard size is standard D2SV3, which is 2 vCPUs and 8 GB RAM. So I'm going to click that virtual machine. In last classes, we were talking about all these features one by one, and then we are here in the operations area. We can do Bastion because we're going to do that in the network topic. So disaster recovery, we're going to click that. I'm going to start that process faster now, because last time we started that, but then we had, the time was up, o'clock. So I'm going to start that, and it takes time. So we start early. We still have a lot of time. It may take 30 to 45 minutes to do. And it says in the globe that your one machine will be in Canada Central and the other will be in, you're kidding me, East West? No, not East West. So yeah, we're going to go for Canada East, right? So I'll just type here Canada East. So that's how it's showing that one machine is Canada Central, one is in Canada East. Okay. So yeah, so that's the message from to Naveed in the chat. So here, a source region is Canada Central. It clearly says that, and second target region is Canada East. I'm just going to go ahead, advanced settings. And last week we did that too. So here, it just says that for target settings. So we are in Canada Central. It is asking for Canada East. Hey, what do I do in Canada East? So that's what we're telling, that, hey, in Canada East, create a subscription there as well, because that's a separate region, few thousand miles away. So VM resource group, please create that resource group. Please create that virtual network there. Availability, single instance or availability set. Single instance is okay, because we're going to delete that as soon as it is created and we have done the failover. We're going to delete that. That's the name of the game. Test it and delete it, right? So you don't incur charges. Not a lot, just a few cents. Proximity placement, we're not going for that, but it does mean that you are going for the nearest region. We are already in the nearest region, which is Canada East from Canada Central. Other than that, capacity reservation, no, we don't want to reserve capacity. This means that you want some specific CPU and RAM to be given, like 16 core CPU or 128 GB RAM all time must be given. They will charge you for that, but obviously they will then commit that they have to provide that kind of hardware. We're doing that. Other than that, storage setting, you want to create storage accounts. You want replication settings to be a bit different. A new recovery services vault and recovery policy will be created. So, the replication is offered by recovery services and it creates a vault for that. Remember that this was the same case with backup. So, recovery services vault supports replication service and backup service. Backup and replication is done by recovery services. The whole files are created in the vault inside the recovery services, right? So this is the replication and extensions. We don't need to install any smaller software there called extensions. So all good here, no changes on this page. This is going to be all done on the target other region, few thousand miles away. I'm just going to click start replication. It says that, okay, this is the setting, this is the source setting, this is the target settings. Are you sure? Sure. We're saying sure. Okay. Start application. And yeah, so initializing template deployment, submitting. We're going to go for Bell. If you prefer Rogers, up to you. I'm going for Bell. Okay, here. So, submitting the deployment template for resource group. Yeah, it's going to go through all the activities of creating our standby virtual machine in another region, the Canada East. So in the other region, it's going to do that, and we don't need to really see the ice melt. Like it's going to take time. So we're going to go for the rest of the features while this is still going on, and I'm going to try fail. So Fahad says in the chat, sir, Proximate is placing host machines on different rack, if I'm not wrong, unless we have zones. So Proximate placing is nearest region. It's region level. So, but proximity placement also was in the documentation for the availability set documentation. So there they were approximately putting the machines nearest to the nearest racks, yes. But this proximity placement is that there are so many regions. Do you want to choose the nearest region? Right. So that's what it is. Okay. So enabling replication for 1 VM. And let us, while this is going on now, we're going to, that's it. So we're going to let it go. And I'm going to create a separate duplicate tab here. And I'm going to go explore the rest of the features virtual machine. So we could finish the topic of virtual machine today and start the load balancing or scale set topic, right? Right click here. I'm going to go for duplicate tab, but we are here to understand each and every feature. So that's why thing is going slow. Normally it's in my favor that I go fast and this is that feature, this is that feature. You understand? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then I start another class and I earn more money. But yeah, it's the opposite actually. I go slow. We enjoy what we're doing. We actually learn by doing it. It's terribly slow. I should have put 2 days a week or 3 days a week to finish it if I was for money. I don't know what kind of material I'm made of. But yeah, we have to learn really in depth. So we're concentrating on everything. Okay, anyway, so here I'm going to go ahead and click this VM01. So I'm going to go ahead and try to go down further. So this is going on. This is happening right now. We have talked about it in detail as well, discussed it. So, but now it's going to take so much time that we don't really need to see all this, doing this, doing that. But if I can click this, yeah, that's what I want to show. But although it is still showing what's going on in the monitoring bell icon there, but what tasks are done on the Canada East region are showing here as well. Site recovery jobs. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the other tab. Yeah, it's increasing the tasks here. I'm gonna go to the other tab where we're still exploring other features. There's updates for the virtual machine. And updates is just what we talked about during the creation of the virtual machine, which is that you can do patching. You can enable patching of the operating systems. The monthly patches that or updates Microsoft releases, security updates, driver updates, and critical updates, and whatever updates. So all those you can set up here. But in my production environment, in my company, we handle that through Intune, the Endpoint Manager or MDM, Mobile Device Management. So that course finished 2 weeks ago. And so I taught how to configure Intune server and then handle how to manage Windows and how to manage iPhone, iOS, and how to manage Android with practical labs. So if you anyone interested in purchasing that, let me know. Oh, marketing. Okay. Anyway, so the thing is that you can do this, but it's not like guest OS updates. Yes, it's gonna try to do that. Better go for Microsoft's MDM solution for your company, or go for some other MDM solution. I mean, any MDM solution that handles your devices, does the patching, monitors it, remotely deploy anything, remotely deploy apps, remotely deploy a lot of stuff. So yeah, we don't need to do that here, but it's here, and you can actually tell Azure, please do the OS updates for me already. Inventory, it says that enable consistent control and compliance of this VM with change tracking inventory. So that's pretty cool. If you enable that, what happens is that it's going to create a storage account. It's gonna collect the logs of change, whatever changes you've been doing in the machine, log files, those with timestamp. So you change the RAM of the virtual machine, you restarted the virtual machine, you added more storage to the virtual machine. So all kind of changes will be tracked and and saved in the log files with a timestamp, and those log files will be collected in a storage account. And log analytics will show you some fancy graphs that, oh, these many changes you have done on this machine. If you want full report on the virtual machine changes, you can enable that, where it's going to charge you for the log file creation and the storage account. Okay, so then there is change tracking. Seriously? Okay, so that's pretty much the same thing, and inventory and change tracking. Okay, what's the difference? This service is included with Azure Virtual Machines. With Azure Arc Machines, you only pay for logs stored in and log analytics. Yeah. This service is included, blah, 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 blah. Same. Service is a log, requires a log analytics. So yes, two twins brothers or twin sisters or twins cousins. Have you ever heard of twins cousins? No. So anyway, updates, so inventory and change tracking pretty much it's same, and they didn't bother to change the wordings here. Pretty much exactly the same. Maybe they will realize that, hey, they look like the same. So that's inventory. Actually, will be that you can report to MDM software application, certain application about the inventory. Like you added a CPU, so that goes on the inventory as well, right? You added there was 32 GB RAM, then you added 64 GB RAM. That also adds to inventory. So change tracking is only change tracking. It does not actually create a separate inventory of how many CPUs you have deployed and you're paying for, how many RAM you deployed and you're paying for. That would be done by inventory. Change tracking is simply change tracking that you change something in the machine at that time. That's it. Inventory, hey, that many CPUs you have, that many processors you have, RAM you have, that many storage disks you have. So then it will add to the inventory in a separate table. To manage, um, eligible Windows 11 Pro. What auto manage machine best practices simplifies your management experience by automatically onboarding, configuring, and monitoring your virtual machines to comply with the selected configuration profile. If any service or setting drifts from the desired configuration, auto manage will auto remediate service, ensure it is in conformance with the configuration profile selected. Okay, guys, I think this is in, oh, this is not in preview. You're kidding me. So manage multiple machines. So what happens here? Let's talk in English now. So what it's saying is, and that was a very cool feature, is a very cool feature in VMware as well, and pretty much in all vendors offer that. So what is that anyway? Suppose you have a lot of virtual machines here, right? So Windows 11, Windows 10s. No, actually, in cloud you would have servers. So Windows 2012, Windows 2016, 2019, 2022. Now you want to apply same configuration to all the servers, same configurations. Not only that you want to apply same. So what is same configuration? Um, like same virtual hardware configurations, same amount of RAM, same amount of network cards, same amount of storage disks. So can deploy same configuration, can manage same configuration. So this means that if suppose an administrator connected to this machine and changed RAM only, so it will this feature auto manage will detect that, oh, everyone else has 32 GB RAM, suppose, and you changed it from 32 to 64. So in my auto manage profile, I am told that every machine must remain 32, and nobody, if you find that it is more than 32, change it back to 32. It can do that too. So somebody changes 64, somebody actually changed it to 16, suppose it's not 64, maybe 16 GB RAM. And the auto manage actually detects that, and then it says that, hey, I am told to keep configuration consistency. So they all have to be consistent in their configurations. This means I'm going to actually put it back to 32 GB. If somebody changes it to other than 32 GB, more or less, then I'm going to put it back to whatever I'm told. So it can maintain consistency of your configurations as well. So, automatic machine best practice here, it says that here, configuring and monitoring your machines to comply with the selected configuration. So that's you, it will make you comply with the selected configuration profile. If any service or setting drifts from the desired configuration, yeah, that was the PowerShell script, desired state configuration. Name of the PowerShell script was desired state configuration in on-premise Windows. So the thing, what I told you that it has to be consistent, or whatever was configured. If anyone changes from that, we'll put it back. That's called auto remediate. You just put it back to whatever was told to auto manage. Hey, this is what I want to maintain the configuration. So no one makes changes. Anyone does, put it back to what it was. So that's pretty cool. Okay, for this is in the chat. So in case admin want to change the config, we have to disable change the auto manage first. Exactly as you said. Yes. If admin wants to genuinely change something, yes, then you have to tell auto manage, hey auto manage, be quiet now. I need to change something. Don't touch that. Or put machines out of this auto manage process. I'll first take a screenshot of that and then check if we can actually Uh, go further in this. So, okay. Auto manage feature we were talking about, and then I would need a more supply of slides. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go back here. And it says here, yeah, so view Azure best practice profile. Then there's manage multiple machines. Um, okay, so that's why we cannot do it. It's ineligible. So Windows 11 Pro is not supported for this particular task, but any servers would be supported. And what does it say? Azure best practices production recommended for production environments includes insights and backup. Azure best practices dev test, best for dev test environments where robust backup and monitoring are not necessary. So you're making some changes in the dev test, it can actually not let you do that. Custom profile onboard your machines with custom settings and enable or disable any of the services. So yeah, this is how it is, and this virtual machine is not supported that. If you go for best practices there, so below is the set of the services that will be enabled and auto managed with this profile. Set of services may vary depending on machine type and OS. Depending on auto manage is free. Some managed services may incur charges based on usage. So these are some of the services that auto manage will then manage automatically. So backup will be managed automatically. Microsoft Defender will be managed automatically. Machine inside monitoring. So monitoring creates log files. You will be charged for that. Date management. So patching has been done or not. Change tracking. Whoever changed whatever and what's the inventory now. Auto manage machine configuration. So if I go there, it's whatever machine configuration you define here will be then consistently maintained by auto managed service. For automation account, you will be creating a new account here as well. Log analytics requires storage account to be created and log files to be saved. Food diagnostics requires a storage account to be created and log files to be saved. There are some separate services that auto manage will use to maintain your machine configurations. Those services will incur charges. Right. So, okay, guys, let's go ahead. We do try to understand, and some of the critical labs we do that. Configuration management still kind of there you go, desired state configuration. So I was saying that there was a PowerShell script for desired state configuration. So that is also available. So auto manage actually does much more than this, but they are still introducing, hey, you just want consistency of configuration among your many machines, virtual machines. So there's just same configuration maintenance services also available. But auto manage automatically manages lots and lots of other services as well. And we just talked about those. So it is not only going to maintain same configuration, it's going to update machine, it's going to back up machine, it's going to secure your machine with Microsoft Defender, and it's going to create a lot of log files to report. Configuration management is just going to keep your configuration same. It will not secure anything. It will not take a backup of anything. It's not going to patch anything. That's the difference between the auto manager. Auto manager is on larger scale. You need to be ready for some charges. Company, obviously, you can enable that, test it in the dev environment, and then send it. Okay, so if you go for policies there, so there are this you will see in storage as well, storage topic in VNet topic in database topic. So policies are going to implement certain type of settings, right? Before I start this topic, if I go back here, if I go here, oh, actually, enabling replication successfully completed the operation. Okay. So guys, remember that we were talking about this, the replication. So that replication topic is topic, the virtual machine is done. So I'm just gonna go back to the virtual machine itself. How do I go there? I'm gonna go to the portal menu, to the virtual machines. That's the only virtual machine we have. There's only one virtual machine we have. I'm gonna go inside virtual machine, and I'm gonna again visit that same disaster recovery. And it's going to look different this time, obviously. So it opens up, excuse me, that console where it's showing now through the map as well that Azure Site Recovery is managing your replication of your virtual machine. There's a storage account that has been created. Managed disks, one managed disk has been created as well, where it's showing Canada East, and there's a dotted line here, and Canada Central. The on the left side of the dotted line and on the right side of the dotted line. Also, it shows in the map that hey, replication has begun. Ta-da. So if I go up there, you can see this is 0% synchronized. Now both machine. Now we only have operating system in the virtual machine. Suppose there was files. There were files in the virtual machine, right? So those files would have been synchronized as well. So it works the same way whether you have some extra applications on the operating system, just like us, only operating system. So you can see it's on 0%. It has to reach 100% for these options to be enabled. I want to actually go for failover, where it should show what? It should show that the machine is active out of Canada East now and passive out of Canada Central after the failover is done. Before failover or right now is active on Canada Central and passive on Canada East. But where does it say that too? Inversion, not successful test failover has not been done, failover readiness. It does say here somewhere, last couple points are there, clickable. First of all, I refresh and then check. Oh, still on 0, seriously. So where does it say that? Oh yeah, there you go. Properties. So active location is Canada Central. When we fail over, and the active location changes to Canada East. Oh, Fox says in the chat, it was done in a few minutes. Oops, okay. So active location, Canada East should be showing there after the failover happens, right? Right now, active location is Canada Central. That's where you can go and check it out. Okay, I'm going to, well, there's no other choice to finish. But, well, these options need to be enabled. That's pretty much it. So refresh. Are you kidding me? You didn't even change to 1. Anyone following me? Anyone more than 0? If anyone following, then anyone more than 0? Okay. Oh, okay. So it's still 0. No kidding. So Nick says 0. For this is 0. David 0. Tell me why. So why? I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the other topic because this topic does take time, but this is one of the most critical topics, most interesting. That now we have our machine in another region, 2,000 kilometers away. Okay. So while this is seriously okay, I refresh. Please move to 1. It will shoot up to that. Oh, okay. We'll keep an eye on that. If anyone's moved to, so it shows up on Canada East. It says, I start my machine. Oh, it says, uh, hey, why did you start my machine, man? Test with creating a file on the center. Oh, Nick, this in the storage topic, we're going to be actually creating folders across the region, and then we're going to be creating files inside the folders. And yes, but what you're saying is correct as well. If we go inside this machine and create a file, then according to the synchronization schedule, then the file should reach there in that it should show up there. So that would be a very interesting scenario as well. A cost of at a certain cost. What my intention right now is how to configure the disaster recovery and then how to fail over. Actually, guys, then we have to fail back as well because then we need to delete these machines. So yeah, I think it won't let me fail over until we have done test failover. But I would want to jump to the failover just to show you that, hey, this is the main thing, right? Then there are other asynchronized, there's change recovery point, there's commit, there's cleanup failover, test failover. Test failover just tests the failover that it is failoverable. Okay, that's another word, new word I just created now. Failoverable. Failoverable. Right? So it can do failoverability. Wow, seriously, I keep coming up with new words. So first we test, then we clean up the test, then it lets you do the actual failover. Well, that used to be the case a few months ago. If they've changed that to that, I can just jump to the failover directly, then we can test that too. If it moves from 0%, seriously, pressure, pressure, pressure. Kidding me? Right. I'm just going to go back to the other tab where we were discussing. Okay. So Fahd says you can create a new folder in the C drive that may be cheaper option or low cost. So this is a virtual machine based failover. But yeah, if you're saying that, go remotely connect to this virtual machine, go inside and then create a folder and then check it on another machine. If it got created, yeah, you can do that. We're going to do that in the storage topic. We're going to create a folder, we're going to create files, and we're going to replicate it across the region. So yeah, we're going to do that still. It's still an upcoming topic. Okay. So guys, I'm going to go back to this virtual machine feature, more features related stuff. For policies, very, very important stuff. Uh, you can implement backup policy. You can implement a policy that says that no one can create anything outside of a certain region. So if I go up there, assign policy. So basics and scope, Azure subscription. Then there's exclusions. So optionally select resources. So I wanted to show you the repository of, I think, 100 plus policies. So if we go to the basics and policy definition, and we're going to actually, if you click this basics and policy definition and the three dots here, so it then shows us 1,656. So the repository has increased fold. I was saying 100 plus. So it's definitely 100 plus. Actually, it's 1,000 plus policies. So the thing is that what are the policies? Policies are about anything and everything across Azure. There are 100 plus features in Azure, so there are policies, multiple policies related to each feature. So SQL Server related policy, audit virtual machines without disaster recovery configured, and there's a policy audit virtual machine which do not have disaster recovery configured. So search for those virtual machines that do not have a disaster recovery configured. Audit those virtual machines and give me the result for that. So this is that policy. Will be, keep on looking for those virtual machines that does not have disaster recovery configured, right? Restrict location of information processing, storage, and services. So it says restrict location of information processes and storage services. This means that which location, which region. Yeah, that was cute. So okay, so which region was where you can create information processing, where you can create storage accounts, where you can create services, and which regions you cannot create. So suppose you restrict. Now this is not a virtual machine level policy. It is like you can put on resource group. But in this in particular, no problem with that. So here, restrict location of information processing storage. What is this means is if you attach this policy on the resource group level. Okay, we just go there. So assign policy, we were there, but if we go to the resource group, just to show you, you don't really need to go there. So, and we have certain resource groups created here, several actually. So if I go to the resource group And then uh, policies. This is the policy. So the policies appear on virtual machine level. They appear on resource group level. They also appear on subscription level. Then they appear on management group level, and blueprints also can deliver policies. So anyway, if I go to, I'm on resource group level, right? If I go to assign policy here and then go to the third option here, and 2656 policies, strict location of information processing, I click that and select that. So what it's supposed to let us do is that on certain locations, you can create services. So resource group, inside resource group, you can create virtual machines. Inside resource group, you can create storage accounts. Inside resource group, you can create anything. Virtual networks, databases. So if you restrict people that, hey, in this resource group, you want to create anything, then do not create anything outside of Canada Central. Location based, restrict location of information processing storage. So other than Canada Central, you cannot create anything on any other region when you're creating something in resource group. Right? So it says enabled, but what it's supposed to show is parameters and only show parameters that need input. Okay, what are the parameters anyway? Correct manual or manual. Okay, and then next remediation. So what I was expecting here was, and I need to read the policy again. I was just going for some quick example here that it should restrict us, or it should give us the option to configure that which area we should be restricting our information processing, storage, and services to, and which other areas we should not be able to do that. So otherwise, it might simply detect that which region we are in, and it's going to restrict us to that region to create any resources in this resource group. Just to explain to you that it could, that's what it could mean in the policy. I'm just going to close this, leave page, and we're back to the policy. So there are so many policies here. And suppose I go for backup. So suppose I go, okay, I want to check the backup policies that I can implement on this machine. So when I do backup, there are so many. Azure backup should be enabled for virtual machines. Okay, that's an overall policy. This is also a resource group level policy. You put it in resource group. After that, suppose you create 100 virtual machines. All those virtual machines will have the backup enabled automatically. Well, automatically. So configure backup on virtual machines without a given tag to an existing recovery. Now there are several scenarios for the policy. Establish alternate storage site, store, retrieve backup information. So when you enable backup, there is a storage account that gets created and you're charged some cents per hour. It says, this policy says, create another storage account to keep the virtual machine backup there as well. So you want to create multiple storage accounts for backups for one virtual machine, then this is the policy for that. So you keep going, and whatever scenario really, attracts you, you could just go for that policy and implement that. So there was a policy actually for location, Okay, location. There was a policy that I was implementing. I was asking, I was asking the management that I want to implement this policy of us not able to create sources in any other region other than Canada Central. So the data residency policy. So for that, I went to location, and there was I had to search for that policy. Resource location matches resource group location, but that the resource location matches resource group location. So you create a resource group in Canada Central. Now check if anyone has created a virtual machine resource or storage account resource in a location other than the location of the resource group. So resource group is in Canada Central. If you have created a resource in Canada East, that's not good. At least it will be audited and the report will be there that this person created a virtual machine resource In a resource group, that is not the existing resource group location, some other location. So you will be audited for that. So that's how the policies are govern the allocation of resources. What was that? Yeah, allowed location. There you go. Allowed locations is a policy. If I select that, does it show here or it's gonna show? Oh, there you go. Allowed locations parameter. So now we're allowed to create in Canada Central only. That's it. Locations. Okay? That's what I was actually looking for in that, which I was looking in the previous policy. So yeah, if anyone virtual machine. So now this is also not a virtual machine level policy. So you have to search, dig down whichever is the virtual machine level policy and implement that. This is also a resource group level policy that in this resource group or subscription level. In a subscription, you can say that location allowed is Canada Central only. You want to create something outside of that, it's not going to allow you to do that. That's pretty cool, right? And many companies implement that. And in production orbit, I was going to implement that, but somehow it got delayed. And oh, we're going to do this in the future project that is coming. They told me, no. Okay. But these policies we should gather somewhere that okay, this is a set of policies I want to implement in my company, and then you should implement on the resource group level, subscription level, management group level, which is the top level. Anyway, I'm just going to go back here. Cancel. Okay. So David says in chat, how do we differentiate those meant for resource group policy? Yeah, so definitely there are 1,656 policies. So suppose I go for virtual machine. So virtual machines. Okay, that's not it. User backup should be enabled for virtual machines. Now the policy option is there available for virtual machines, but many policies when you go, they are like, is it for just one virtual machine or for multiple virtual machines? Network traffic data collection agent should be installed on Linux virtual machines. Those configure log analytics extension to be enabled on Windows virtual machines. Okay, it's more than the one Z. Okay, what am I doing? Virtual machines should encrypt temp disks, caches, and data flows. Now, this could also implement between compute and storage resources. This could also implement on one virtual machine. The policy has to generalize, right? It cannot say for this particular virtual machine, let's do this. So it has to generalize that. So, but this particular policy actually can be implemented. So it's your judgment or your understanding how in depth you read the whole description of that. Then if there's a Microsoft partner support, you can just open a ticket there as well. Hey, I'm about to implement this policy. They'll read some more, dig out some more, and try to suppose I will copy this in Microsoft documentation and search for that. It will give you lots of pages there. But it seems like this would be implemented for one machine as well. Configure backup on virtual machines without a given tag to an existing recovery services. I mean, basically, majority of them are generalized. Configure Windows virtual machine scale sets to be associated with the data collection rule. No dependency agents should be enabled for listed virtual machine images. Configure change tracking, Linux, deploy, configure dependency agent to be enabled on Windows virtual machines. Now, this could be also attached to one virtual machine as well. VTPM should be enabled on supported virtual machines. No. Yeah, it's our dig out. We have to really dig out, and they have to generalize it. It's understandable as well. There are 113 virtual machine related policies. If something you want in the policies, mainly it's gonna be on resource group level, management group level. I haven't attached anything yet to a virtual machine in terms of policy, although the policy option is still there. So there has to be there's got to be some policy that could be implemented on virtual machine directly, but I haven't done that. I didn't have to do that because implemented on source group levels. So I never had to get out that one. But if the option is there, there has to be some policies among 113 policies. So good luck reading. That's what I can say here. But yeah, some policies could qualify for just one virtual machine. Otherwise, we normally come to policy when we have to implement it on source group level, subscription level, and management group level. Okay, so yeah, that's what I can say. But I never had to use it myself in my production environment. Well, and we will always go when we think of policies, we will go for much uh, on the higher level. But it's there, so there's got to be something there. I never had to use it, but my suggestion is go ahead and dig out a lot of reading. Okay, guys, here policies. Now they have implemented one as an example, which you will find actually as to all virtual machines. Suppose you created two more virtual machines. This policy, ASC, Azure Security Center, ASC default. This is a subscription of security monitoring that is also attached to pretty much every virtual machine by default. So again, this policy is coming from subscription level. The one policy that is attached is also not specifically for the virtual machine. It is also coming from subscription level. Hence, yes, 90%. You would go for, when you think of policies, think of subscription and resource group level. 90%. Okay. So guys, other than that, there's run command. And this is very, very useful if it is working properly. So you want to run a command in a virtual machine from outside of virtual machine, run PowerShell script. There's IP config. I want to just know the IP information. So if I click that and run, so show detailed information for the IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway for each adapter down to TCP/IP. I'm just going to click run here, and Monday, Sunday, it's gonna start. But yeah, you can try to run commands from outside of the virtual machine to inside, or better, just to the virtual machine through PowerShell and just remotely do the commands, or just go inside the virtual machine and run PowerShell there. But suppose you're unable to go inside the virtual machine because of the operating system related issues. So there you go. Or you don't want to remotely connect right now, and you just want some quick information out from outside the virtual machine. So so it gives you that the IP address configuration of this particular virtual machine. And RDP settings, enable Windows updates. Wow. So you don't have to really connect inside the virtual machine and go to open several windows and then enable security updates. So if I just try to do that, enable Windows update, sometimes it gives errors as well. But if it is enabling Windows updates, then automatically it will start making those updates Windows from Microsoft. Well, Windows updates normally is started default in every. It says script execution in progress. So you get the idea here. PowerShell console, enable admin account. Wow, that would be a treasure. Enable admin account. So suppose you cannot log into that machine for any reason. Oh, it did a history change here. When you went for Windows update, it did something very solid. If you change it on the registry, this works, right? But it didn't say in the property. Yes, no. I'm going to go for one more thing. Enable admin account. This is pretty crucial if you're unable to access a virtual machine and you want to enable admin account so you can actually log into it. So, but you need to still know the password of the admin account. It enables it. Otherwise, basically, by default, it is disabled, right? Okay, so you can just check it out, and basically, you would want to also try to run some PowerShell scripts if it just loads PowerShell script. This would not be that important. Actually, in a typical environment, it would be. PowerShell script you can run here while not even connecting to the Windows, and then whatever PowerShell command you have done. So I did not put that get dash command. Oh, it's too late. I click run already, but it runs those. It's supposed to run PowerShell scripts for you. So that's going to be a very good way to do it. And now I'm gonna run command didn't give it out. So it's executing the script. Anyway, other than that, Fahad is asking, anyone move away from 0% in the disaster zone? It could be disaster. Okay, so it's not giving me result, but if I go there, hey, it's still on 0%. Okay, so hey, what happened? Done actually. Nice. Go refresh, 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 refresh. It did not show the progress bar, but it's done. You can see failover. Yay! Okay, failover. Woohoo! Done. So it just did not show the moving thingy. It was moving in the background. Okay, anyway, it's done. So guys, the thing is, has shared picture. Yeah, it's done. Okay, thanks. Thanks for showing that. And okay, guys. So here, failover, test failover, right? Now test failover will test the failover, and it takes time. Test failover, and then it takes time to clean up test failover. So how about we jump to the thing that we came here for? What I'm expecting is that if I go to the properties right now, active location is Canada Central. So after I'm done with the failover, it should be Canada East as active location. So if I go there, I'm just going to start the failover process. Click the failover. No test failover done in past 180 days. It is recommended to do a test failover before a failover. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm testing it, and I don't want to do that soon, so I don't get to be charged for test failover kind of thing. Okay, so anyway, test failover does what? You go ahead and click that. I mean, you want to do that, you can do that too. It just tests the failover, gives you a all good report, right? But it's all good. Shut down machine before beginning failover. Okay, so guys, failover without downtime only is possible with synchronous replication in faster networks in LAN environment. On WAN, expect downtime during failover, although if they are very, very nearby kind of regions, then they may have very powerful lease lines and submarine cables that could do more. So yeah, next is it doesn't do a hard failover. Well, we can try. If I uncheck that shutdown on machine before beginning failover and press OK, starting failover. So in production environment, I would definitely want to test it, fail, and over. Well, the machine is not down. Hey, let's just go back. Oh, there you go. So the get command actually was run from outside of the virtual machine. So yes, it works. I'm here for another reason. I'm going to go to the disaster recovery. No, I'm going to go to the virtual machine itself. Oh, why I'm going to disaster recovery? On the other tab, it is running right now. But here, if yeah, it is running. It's running. It's running. Can you connect? And why am I doing that? I'm failing over. How can I connect? Seriously, connect. Not during failover, definitely. Well, suppose you're working, you're failing over. In VMware labs, I've shown that so many times. Machine is, in fact, this Tuesday was our VMware lab vMotion migration lab. So in VMware on premises. So we've migrated a live on virtual machine from one physical host to another physical host. Yeah, it's on YouTube right now. Okay, anyway, so starting failover, it's still starting. You see the console of the VM without RDP. Without RDP seeing the console of the VM, then yeah, you can use the other tools like TeamViewer, like AnyDesk. But other than that, RDP, just like vCenter. But then Boston host is another thing. No, for then you have to have admin center. You should have SCCM System Center Configuration Managers or Intune, which is an online MDM. But I haven't connected to through Intune to a virtual machine because it actually deploys RDP with Intune, or with Intune you can connect TeamViewer. It just remotely lets you connect right away. Obviously these are tools, but not like vCenter. Then you have there are third-party software that can let you connect like vCenter. Like there's a from ManageEngine.com. There's a tool, I think, remote administration. That exactly looks like vCenter. Built into Windows, I think Admin Center, they are still working on it. That should look like that, but I haven't tested it. Oh, failover is done. Woohoo! Good. So if I go to properties, application is Canada East. Yay! Okay, failover, you can't really rely on failover to be very fast. It's tons of miles away. But um, the other thing is, you go there, the machine is still running, right? Failover and RDP. Let's do one crazy thing. Exactly. I'm gonna fail back now. Before that, I want to connect. Will it disconnect me? Interesting, right? I'm gonna connect quickly to that machine now. Okay, I'll go for more choices. The difference and Amer admin. I'm gonna connect to it now, then I'm gonna fail back. How about that? Interesting. Right? Alright, I'm inside the Windows 11. I'm trying to log into it. Alex logging in right now, so like I am connected, right? Well, I will be. So once I'm logged in, start working in it. In the background, I'll just fail back. So then we will see that does it do a hot failover where someone's actually connected and working and you failed over. Right? That's the best test to do if it logs in today. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, so next, yeah, it's Windows 11 thingy. Go. Just log in, man. Actually, I'm logged in now. It's just asking extra stuff, so I can actually fail over. Oh, there you go. Wow, what is that? Okay, so why do they have to copy Apple Mac OS? Microsoft is so cool in copying. Okay, so I'm working on it, blah blah blah, and I'm failing over now. Fail back, right? So I'll still click fail over. Right now it is on application Canada East. I want it back to Canada Central. So overview, fail over. Down machine before beginning.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, okay. So yeah, shut down machine before beginning.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, can we confirm if actually that machine is truly in Canada East?
So
Yeah,
that's
from there.
yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, can we? Yeah. Uh,
So yeah, you're right. That's oh, I can hear myself. Does it say here? Canada East. So, but is it active from there? Hmm. Public IP has not been given to that machine, but
Yeah.
this same public IP is being used for that because I'm connected right now to that machine for this machine zone, Canada East as a active machine. How we know that it is active? Well, that I showed already. But if you go to properties, you can see that it's active out of which one. But the same public IP should be there because if public IP changes, so it will obviously the users will not be able to connect. It has to be one IP, and it is running out of Canada East right active location, right? And I'm connected to it right now, so yes, this is a proof that it is actually on Canada East.
Oh, why is it not showing a public address with the Canada East?
Yeah, that's what I just said. Public IP has to be the same
Okay.
because if we are connected to the virtual machine from Canada Central, right? So,
Okay.
and we are connected from a certain IP, and if it is showing hot failover, which means that users are working on it,
Okay.
and then it fails over and it has no effect on users. It's going back. So the thing is, if the IP changes, all users will be disconnected. It is actually hot failover. So that's why IP must not change. So that's why it's not even showing that on the Canada East. But since I've connected to this, like this, so I'm still working on it. And when I fail over, the same IP should still be there, whichever region I'm on, because users are connected and it supports hot failover. Otherwise, users will be disconnected. Then we cannot say it's a hot failover. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's a very good question. And now, since I'm connected and I'm about to fail and over, does it disconnect me? If it disconnects me, it's not supporting hot failover. If I'm still working on it and the session is still live and whatever I've opened, it's still opened. So yeah, the thing is that it's hot failover. So I'm just gonna do that now, and I'm working out of the Canada East, and there you go. It does not support that. I think I was already in that session, so I went away from it, so it might be still open. Um, okay, disaster recovery. Because I clicked it, so it's supposed to be open now. And then I click back in the middle of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Canada East side of virtual machine and initiate that again. Disaster recovery. Show me there. Oh, that's where I the connection, and in the middle of it I should not have closed it, I guess, so it's not really showing refresh. Maybe refresh will show me. Oh, that session is enabled somewhere, not showing because I canceled. Oh, failover completed. When was that? So okay, if it's completed, where is it now? I didn't initiate that. Was the last failover completed? Okay, so yeah, I should not have stopped it. Hmm. If so, this is from the Canada East. I'm gonna go to the virtual machine console again from Canada West. This is Canada Central. Say West Central, and then go to this. If it shows me the controls, and let me control the failover button. Okay. Huh. That's good. Um, this is Canada Central. I'm connected. On the other side, I'll just connect to Canada East. Guys, if anyone else is doing that, go ahead and fail back. But I have to do something else now to really get that option of failover back. Is it open somewhere else in the Windows? Nope. Okay, so it's stuck. I'll refresh that whole page. Maybe it shows up like this. No, it's not showing. Disable replication and then enable replication again. I'll just do that. Okay. It will remove the replicated item from the Azure site recovery. Replication configuration on source will not be cleaned up. Site recovery billing for the machine will stop. No, that's a big step. The other machine will be gone. Okay, so I'm stuck in the middle now. Can't go this way, can't go that way. Change recovery point. Obviously, there are options there for that too. I'll go for commit. So you want to commit to the virtual machine. Once you commit, you cannot change the recovery point of the virtual machine. This is just a recovery point that, hey, take a recovery point at this uh, point. Okay, what is the best destination? Okay, guys, anyone who is still following the lab, please go ahead and do we need reprotect to enable the replication back before? We can do reprotect. I mean, it's just an extra step. So if you're choosing general purpose virtual machine, okay. By default, site recovery will pick the original source resource group, virtual network, storage accounts, and availability sets as below. Customize above to change the configuration. Resources created or yeah, so it's going to just so that operations and data transfer prices are understood clearly before you proceed. uh, like reprotect is going to just make sure that all hmm, okay, I'm just going to press OK. Creating Azure resources. Don't close this blade. So it's going to just create the copy again, or it's going to reconfigure this whole thing. And protect just means it's highly available, right? So um, just validating the whole configuration. Yeah, this could actually put me back to be able to click that sign. Uh, that is possible. Oh, so in the middle, if we click close, it just then respond. Okay, while I'm reprotecting it, I'm still connected to a virtual machine, but out of where? It should be like Canada East. Checking the virtual machine, the operation is in progress. Yeah, so it's just recreating or confirming that those sources in Canada East are figured properly, correct, and checking our connection from central to east as well. Okay, if I go to the detailed tasks of that, oh yeah, it's going through the process of when I created the first time. Getting reprotection requirements, discovering replica virtual machine, committing failover, requisite check. Yes, it should give me back that failover button. Clickable failover button. Okay, so guys, yeah, failing over process um, is not that easy, and there could anything could happen, and that's good that we tried here. Okay, now I'm disconnected from the machine because the remote computer is shutting down. It's redoing or recreating the whole environment there again in East. So this would be uh, an exact replica and correcting everything. So that's what's going on. So we will have to wait for that. But then we should have a replica environment created again, and I should be able to fail over again. So that would take certain time, and it's time for break. Yay! Okay. So then I would just want to delete it ASAP. Okay, so guys, let's take a break quickly and then come back while this is recreating the environment. But that was the only way for me. But you don't have to do that because if you were able to click the failover, then you go ahead and failover. Failover with you connected to the machine, you're good. You can actually, uh, deallocate and shut down the machine. Just not to avoid incurring more cents per hour. Uh, okay, if it's done, main purpose here was just to show how to fail over and fail back. And it's just click of a button. So we were able to do that, right? And pretty much that could be it. But yeah, I got stuck in extra stuff, so I'm doing extra stuff now. But if you have done the fail back as well, and yeah, shut down the machines. You want to delete that virtual machine, that's also okay. But no, we're still going for some few features left here. Um, oh, okay. Nothing much here other than insights. And I'm gonna just show you how to create alerts. Actually, that's also I showed before. So we're gonna just finish that, and then after the break, we're gonna start with the scale sets lab. Pretty interesting. And then hopefully, if we have time, we're gonna go for the load balancing lab as well. The two virtual machines. Right? So, reprotect is still not done. Seriously. Okay, let's take a quick break and then come back. So it's 15 minutes to then 12, 13, 12, 33, 30. Okay, let's come back at 12:30. Break. Pause. Pause. 3. You can pause it now. Okay, we're back from the break, and let us go ahead and try to check. Uh, let's check uh, disaster recovery. Um, okay, so there's a comment by Naveed that I just called. So yeah, Naveed, you still have to create a ticket there, and then if you got the number, maybe the number there you can call. Otherwise, first the ticket has to be created. Then yeah, once they reply, then you can call even on that number with the reference of that ticket. So, but the ticket has to be created, yes, of course. So I'm just going to go back here to the status of that virtual machine, and I've clicked this in. I'm selecting the Canada East virtual machine, and that's the disaster recovery. And there you go. Failover is not there. Seriously. Okay. Virtual machines. The option is not coming to me again. I will have to then de-shoot it after the classes. And yeah. Now it's synchronizing. Seriously, that's gonna take forever as well. Okay, guys. Basically, the lab was pretty much done. If I had not clicked that button to stop the server, answer a question, so I would have just kept it there, and then I would have gone ahead with a fail back. But fail back is the same as failover. Just changes the active location, right? So I don't think I need really this, to wait for this synchronization. But let me just finish then the rest of the features of a virtual machine because it's not much there. We need to go for the other bigger labs as well. We have talked enough about this. Okay, now if we click that, so we have, if we go back down here, so we have then insights, uh, and insights. This is all monitoring section, right? So whenever talk about monitoring sections or monitoring tools, they all majority of them depend on creating a log file. And in order to create a log file and keep it somewhere, you need to create a storage account. And then there's log analytics service and workbooks, and there are different types of monitoring tools that shows you the information they collected from the log files and show you in a fancy graphic way. Get more visibility into health and performance of your virtual machine. With an Azure virtual machine, you get host CPU, disk, and up-down state of your VMs out of the box, enabling additional monitoring. So out of the box, it tells you in the monitoring of the virtual machine that what is the status of the CPU and disk, and then the machine is powered on or shut down. This comes with the machine. This much monitoring alerts come with the machine. But if you want additional monitoring capabilities, provides insights into the performance and dependencies of your virtual machines, then you will be then you can just go for insights and enable it. You will be billed based on the amount of data ingested and your data retention settings. It can take between 5 to 10 minutes to trigger the virtual machine and monitoring data to appear. Uh, so it just says there that if you enable this, then obviously it's going to create it needs to send you insights into detailed insights of the virtual machine monitoring or performance and capacity. Then you have to enable it. It's going to create a storage account in the background, and then it's going to start sending you alerts or showing you alerts here. Well, how the alerts look like, we already know that. So I don't think going through the process is of any benefit. Plus, we have much bigger labs waiting right now. So I'm just going to go for brief introductions to these so we could pay attention to some more critical labs. Alerts enable recommended alert rules. So now, in the previous class, I showed you that how to create alerts, but I'm just going to go ahead and click the create, and then there's an alert rule here, right? So if I go to the alert rule, I'm going to create some random, some custom alert for you, right? So it's asking for condition and what condition you want to be alerted about. So is it data disk? Is it CPU? Is it resource health? Available memory bytes? So it could be any of those alerts that you can choose about the disk, CPU, and RAM. So if I go for resource health, overall event status, current resource status, 3 selected. So what are selected? Event status if the machine is active, in progress, resolved, updated, or whatever the event is and whatever the issue was resolved. Then there is current resource status here, available, degraded, available. Suppose I don't want to select that. I click that. So I'm going to click add condition again. I want to go for CPU credits consumed. This means that how much of CPU has been consumed. Then it goes for a static threshold or dynamic threshold. Aggregation type is average, maximum, minimum, total, count. So if I go for average, operator greater than unit count, VM, threshold value. So you want to give some value here for CPU. If it breaches that value, if it goes more than that value, then there should be an alert coming to me. So there's that table there as well. 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m. is written there, but CPU credits consumed, 40 credits consumed, or credits consumed. So if I go for suppose 80 here, so you can see that 80 is the level that has been chosen, or in the graphs it shows there as well. But it also shows you that, hey, you're creating an alert, so it's going to be 10 cents USD per month, or this alert. Like every 1 minute, look back, create 5 minutes, every 5 minutes. So this is something that you need to take into account, that it's 10 cents per month actually. So that's for production environments for companies, it's thing. It's peanuts. And select action groups. So we don't have any action group. Action group is the people that needs to be sent alert. So I'm going to create action group because I don't have action group. So how to create an action group, or what is it? So it's suppose we say ITDEPT, a department. Those are the people who are part of the action group. And then notification, yes, we want to be emailed, but it can also do a push notification in your cell phone, call you, and or SMS you, text you as well. So email, and then name is ITDEPT. So that the IT department with notification by clicking the edit button. There's an edit button. And there I can just put the name, right? So suppose I go for idguyme at gmail.com, or obviously whatever your company email account is. Suppose you create a dedicated account for just collecting log files and alerts, so you can just put that name, and maybe it's a shared account, and you 4 or 5 people are members, and the alerts come here, and you all see those alerts. Or we can go for SMS, carrier charges, or voice or mobile notification. I'm just going to press OK here, and this is it. You just create a action group, and what is the action type? So we don't want any um, automated tasks to respond to that alert we run. Or suppose you do want some other service do something else in response of this alert, then you can configure automation runbook or Azure function, some script you want to run, some event hub or secure webhook. These are just monitoring or graph related and webhook. So some of these are automation tasks, and some are just going to collect the information and store it in a fancy graphics way. But you want some kind of application to respond to that, then you select those. If you go for tags, then this is just like manager John and branch this, department this. So we know that already. So review plus create. That's how we create an alert. Just click create alert, and then the alert gets created. And if the CPU, if the disk is consumed, I think we went for CPU. So the CPU has a consumption more than 80%, then we can just go for that. Then it will send you the alert. I think it is details. Okay, still it's asking for severity is what critical. Well, up to you is informational or at least warning we can give. Third rule name, CPU consumed. Advanced options are there as well. Custom properties, name value again. That department this, manager John, and etc. Enable upon creation, automatically resolve alerts. So yeah, these are just some common options there. Again, tags are coming. Actually, again and again are coming. Then click create, so the alert gets created, and that's how the alert looks like. And then you can create as many alerts for the virtual machine. Right. If we go for metrics, that's just live information about what you want. So CPU, credit consume here, virtual machine host. This is a virtual machine, obviously the current virtual machine. And what do you want to select here? Suppose we go for OS is network out total, network in total, network how much data has been sent out. So it gives you live information, live report about that. Real-time report, we can say. Diagnostic settings in Azure Monitoring collects host level metrics. CPU utilization, disk, and network usage for all virtual machines without any additional software. For more insight into this virtual machine, you can collect level metrics, logs, and other diagnostic data using the Azure Diagnostics agent. So when we were creating a virtual machine, it was asking, hey, do you want to collect types like perfmon, nixes, and chat? Um, so during the creation of the virtual machine, we had that option. Do you want to collect information about the guest operating system, which is either Linux or Windows? So do you want to have guest level metrics? Then it's going to information if the the Windows actually started or it's unable to start and the boot file is missing there. In that case, it's gonna have that in the log files, and then you can see that, oh, exactly, something wrong with the boot files or boot manager there. So you can just collect all those gets, but obviously it's going to create a separate storage account for you, start collecting log files there, and then you will be charged some cents per hour for collecting those log files and showing you in a fancy graph way. So that's diagnostic settings. Again, majority of the settings involve that you collect logs. For that, you need to create a storage account for that. So for companies, it's you have to pay that obviously. Whenever we say pay, so it's not like it's a lot of money, because when we compare it with running your own premises data center, maintaining your own premises data center, and the cost involved in having your data center on premises. So compared to that, the cost here is much lesser, much lesser. So anyway, but there is always a cost for some service that you want. And then they say that, hey, you want to create log files, then enable this. So we talked about this already, that it's going to create log files in a storage account, and then and log analytics is another service that's going to show you the graphs, will collect information from those log files. Action monitor classic, so that's deprecated, I guess, or way back. So we don't need to really talk about that. Web workbooks are also fancy. Suppose a perf counter. So if I can just show you stuff, it lets it loads that. These are the graphs. It will show you in graphs that what is the logical disk MB per second, logical disk IOPS, input output data per second, CPU utilization, and you want to go for what kind of information for how long before. So it's just going to give you that information. So web workbooks really shows you nice, attractive in graphs that what is the performance of your CPU and how is it going right now. Onboard to Azure monitors for VM. The VM selected is currently not onboarded to Azure monitors for VMs. Okay, so they're just saying that it's also a preview feature, so it's not. It requires Azure monitor for VMs. Monitoring needs to be enabled centrally, so and this virtual machine needs to be connected to the monitor, so you could start collecting log files and show you in graphs. For this, is your VM running in chat? Is that not? Yeah, so whichever is active is running right now. My Canada East is active right now, and the other one is stopped. But stopped means, guys, that it is still collecting data. Like it is stopped automatically, and stopped machines also still receive files. Is it not showing IP address? This is no, it is showing public IP address related information. Public IP address. That one IP address is always showing there for both machines. If there were separate IP addresses, then users will be disconnected when they are failover, and they have to actually know that IP address then. It's always one IP address when there are two machines for failover configured there. Okay. I was going down here, and maybe by now, my 4% must have been done. It's been some time, a while. So workbooks just show you graphs as well. Then there's tasks, automation. When we're talking about, so there's tasks, schedule tasks, so get notified of changes and take automation actions. Now, I was thinking that any of you would have done that assignment with the help of, you Google it, it's going to show you tasks. If you go tasks, select a template, and then start virtual machine. So in the tasks, it shows you an automated way to start virtual machine. So that's what I was thinking, that any one of you would have Googled it, and Google would have told, hey, virtual machine, just go to tasks and then just start this wizard. And then you can set up how to set up the machine to automatically start at a certain time. So that was your assignment. Still, once you do it, then you will have that confidence. But task area shows automation of some of the work that you can do, that you're doing manually. Those are automated there, right? That's still your assignment, but now the clue is there. At not the clue, it has been shown now. How do you set up, and does it really start? So just go through this wizard and then hit on start 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later. Then take a screenshot of the machine shutdown and the task schedule, and then take a screenshot of when the machine automatically started. So that's what you need to do. But the cat is out of the box. Was it box? Okay. So export template. Then you can export the whole template of the virtual machine, whatever you configured now, and then run it. Either you add to the library or deploy through this template another virtual machine with exactly same configurations, and or download this whole template. You can just go for parameters for that. You can just download that, or scripts, a PowerShell script or CLI script you want to run. You can use Azure PowerShell to manage Azure resources, Azure Resource Manager, CLI command line interface that does support Linux as well as Microsoft. If we go for visualize template, so resource visualizer then shows, that's it. Oh, it just passes back to it's like some meteorical, right? I'm just moving my mouse. Okay, that's right. Oh, okay, just kidding. So if this machine is connected to something else, then it would show there, but right now it's not connected to anything. So it's like, uh, so other than that, so yeah, guys, Nick has also shared a script for creating a virtual machine with PowerShell. So do try this at home. And also, we need to jump with on another. Okay, so there's still some more options in the help. There's resource health here. So right now, the machine is healthy, and it does show download as PDF the report of whatever happened in the last few hours. And you can download that as PDF, the report. Good diagnostics, if you have enabled that, then it would have shown the log files here and the report. Performance diagnostics, again, a storage account with a lot of log files will show here, and then you can run diagnostics here. That information from the log files will let you know how to really know what's going on according to the log file information. EM Inspector, this is still in preview. To troubleshoot OS and disks related issues on this virtual machine, start to configure the diagnostics storage account below and run the diagnostics. It just says that you want to troubleshoot what's going on with your virtual machine, then according to the log file is going to collect some information and suggest some kind of diagnostic procedure for you. Reset password. So that's where you can reset the password of your user account. In my case, I created the Amir admin as a user account to log in the machine. So here you can reset password as well. Redeploy plus reapply. You can't connect to your virtual machine, redeploy. Try redeploying your virtual machine, which will migrate it to a new Azure host. If you continue, virtual machine will be restarted and you will lose any data on the temporary drive. While the redeployment is in progress, virtual machine will be available. So somehow you can't access the virtual machine, you're not able to log in, or it's frozen, it's not working. So the same configuration based, you can just redeploy the virtual machine out of this. So this means that pretty much the exact same configuration. It will create another virtual machine. Virtual machine is in a failed state. Reapply. Try reapplying your virtual machine state. This operation will rerun VM provisioning or deployment and help solve the VM failed state. In case when VM provisioning failed or deployment when executing a process. So you were deploying a virtual machine and that process failed. So you can just reapply, which means that using the wizard, whatever you selected there, those options, it will reapply and try to apply or create your virtual machine again. Pretty interesting. Serial console. So Azure Serial Console requires boot diagnostics to be enabled. Here to trigger boot diagnostics for your virtual machine. So remember that now those who have seen the serial console physical one that you can actually connect to the switches with. So you can, serial console is just that it's going to give you the access to the command line of the virtual machine, and then you can try to connect to the virtual machine and try to run some commands. Although run command has specific commands there, but also full PowerShell console from outside of the virtual machine. But serial console also gives you some boot level information and the machine starting or the access to the disk. But you have to have again the boot diagnostics enabled, so it could give you the diagnostic access to the virtual machine. And then connection troubleshoot. That is, you want to connect and check that, hey, if inbound connection to the machine and outbound from machine to internet, inbound from internet to machine, are the connections okay? SSH is for Linux machine, and for any other type of protocol you want to connect for the virtual machine on the specific IP address, your IP address from where you're connecting, then you can test that connection. So SMTP is port 25. So you can just learn all the ports from here as well. WinRM, especially WinNet Admin Center 6516. You can test connection if the admin center connects to this machine or not, right? Okay, so other than that, if there's a ticket you need to create for this virtual machine with Microsoft, so there is support plus troubleshooting. You can troubleshoot this as well. All right. Okay, guys, so that's pretty much it for the virtual machine features. I need to go to the disaster recovery here. And save edits will be started. Oh, yeah. Wow. What happened to my, oh, protected. Okay. And failover is back. Back. So I don't want to be having my application Canada East just for this training. Otherwise, it's okay. I don't have any grudge against East. So I'm just going to go back and fail back. But as I was doing that, I also mentioned that why don't I just connect to the virtual machine while I'm doing that? So this is the time to test that again. That was a new virtual machine. The reprotect just created the whole East environment again. Connect with RDP. This is disabled because this virtual machine is deallocated. All right. So which virtual machine? Oh, no. This, I want to go for this one. This was the East. This is the Central. Right. So East. And connect. I need to start that machine or the failover process should start there. Oh, doesn't take that much time. Oh, it is something in the background. Azure has checked the status of the most common prerequisites when connecting to a port prerequisite not met. Yeah, 3389 access is not given. Seriously. And the public IP, actually, the reprotect did something, and I have to issue that too. Connector, since I just need to failover only, and I will not be able to test remotely connecting because then it's a long process of connecting, networking. So if any one of you have done this already, that when you were trying to fail back, you were connected. So did you stay connected when you failed over or not? That's what you can share with us. But some of you were following this, so you may have already tested it while you were connected. Were you able to successfully fail over? Right? Anyone has done it, then let me know. Otherwise, I think few of you were following me. But here with reprotect, I then have to, attach another public IP and then attach. So do the whole networking configuration. But we have done that already. It was just failing back that we needed to do. So I'll just fail back now, because it's just redundant now. It's the same task I'm doing over again. Okay, so disaster recovery, I hope it still works because of one issue there. Down virtual machine and synchronize. I understand the risk, but continue failover. No test failover was done. No, I did not do that. I did not test the failover. Shut down machine before beginning failover. Uh, I will not shut down the virtual machine and start failing over. Guys, are you able to hear me? Guys, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So, Imran, okay. All others can hear me. Please shoot your audio. Great, thank you. Guys, so um, yeah, it's fail over done. Oh, if I go there, active location is still Canada East. Oh, it's still happening, still going on. Starting failover. So for starting failover, um, it needs. Okay, I'll go to the other virtual machine here and refresh. I have to just start that myself, or because of the reprotect process, maybe DL stopped and delegated it. So do I have to start it, or the failover will start it itself? We're about to learn that because the failover will then give an error. If so, I'm just going to go to the other tab where it's still trying. So I'll let it work this way because I never shut down that machine. Well, if it had shut down automatically this, then it should be able to start this. Starting fail over. Okay, so it did not touch that, but it has to start this. Either I start it or it starts it, or it gives me an error, then I start and then do the failover again. Right? Those were the option, but if it's stopped it, then it should start it. That's another thing that I have to go through the reprotect option. So it might then require that I would have to start. Um, Okay, starting failover successful. Okay. So this means if I go properties again, oh, it's Canada Central. Done. So it should be started now, right? Refresh. There you go. It's running. So yes, it started down the process. The failover shuts this machine down, and then it automatically starts it back. I don't have to do that. So that's it, guys. Failover for this. So the machine features are done. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. I think we will still be able to do scale set lab. I'm just going to delete the whole thing quickly, and then we're gonna go for the virtual machine scale set. Uh, let's just delete the whole thing first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to delete the both machines, or let's just do the same way that we were doing. We go for the resource group and delete the whole resource group that has all the resources. I'm gonna go to the resource group one, and then we're gonna create again. So resource group here. I'm gonna go inside the resource group. Is our delete resource group, and that resource group has these resources. So delete source group. Okay, so the resource group is locked and can be directly here to manage the locks of this resource group. This is the lock. So when it started creating the other, Canada East, so it actually created a lock here that this could not be deleted. You know what? Let's just delete the other environment first. I'm just going to go for the other environment. So in fact, I'm going to go from the last site recovery vault RG. When I delete that, those other environments, I am assuming that it's going to open the lock because it needs the protection of active and passive virtual machines, right? So that's if somebody deletes the resource group that has a active virtual machine, obviously it's going to be an issue for the passive virtual machine. So I'm just going to go and delete the passive first and then come back here. So for this, I'll go for site recovery vault RG source group and go for site recovery copy delete. Then while it is deleting, I'll go for the ASR. ASR means now this is the backup of the standby passive virtual machine in Canada East. That was figured. I'll go for that too. Once these two are deleted, then we can go for the other one. Well, it should delete fast. Now we can actually monitor this as well as so yeah, it's going to go on while this is going on the other tab. We can create another resource group and another virtual machine and talk about skill set. Yeah, okay. So uh, the recovery services is gone, so this should also be gone. And I should start now the other one, the main resource group. And once they are on the delete, we're going to talk about virtual machine scale set. What is the purpose of that? And then do a quick lab on that. Resource group is still on lock. Okay. Now I could just remove the lock. So I'm just coming here. It still says that lock is there. So why don't I just remove the lock? So I'm just going to go ahead and the lock here. There's an ASR lock or Azure Site Recovery lock. So can I delete that? I should be able to. I'm an admin, right? So delete. Yep, it's deleted. And then I can try again. For view, delete resource group. Okay, it has started to delete the resource group. Go for the network watcher RG that monitors the network. I'll try to delete that too. Alright, guys. So while this is going on, let's go for the um, next topic. I think some of the students left because yeah, it's 1 o'clock. I understand that, and it's kind of if there's a party, then any preparation has to be done. But yeah, there was another topic still, and yeah, we have a video starting already. Yeah, so let's go for the next one. And I'll while these machines are being deleted, we're gonna talk about first of all what is the virtual machines scale set. Okay, with disaster recovery, we did the fail over VM from Canada Central to Canada East in the last video. All right, so then VM scale set, right? VM scale set is when I'm in the virtual machines area, right? In the virtual machines, if you click the create, there is that option of when you create a virtual machine. So you can create a scale set from here as well. But also, if I go to search here and type scale set, so then it shows you this virtual machine scale and set. So virtual machine scale set. There's also what are virtual machine scale sets. I'm going to right click and open it in another tab. But I will have to click this virtual machine scale sets. Once I click that, so it takes us to this. So create virtual machine scale set to deploy and manage a load balanced set of identical Windows or Linux virtual machines. Use auto scale automatically scale virtual machine resources in and out. Oh, what is that? So there's a good read of what is virtual machine scale set, but I'll explain that in English. Comprehende, English comprehende. Okay. So, good read. All right. Let us go back here. Let us and so virtual machine scale set. Now there is a scenario here. The scenario is Azure VM scale set. Okay, so the scenario is that in there's a Boxing Day going on, right? And this is Azure Cloud IaaS and infrastructure as a service. You have so this is suppose this is Best Buy has their web servers hosted in the cloud, and the Best Buy web servers are the Best Buy is expecting on Boxing Day that there will be so many users who will be connecting for the Boxing Day midnight deals at 12:01. So Best Buy has anticipated that suppose that there will be thousands of users that will be connecting to this. So in that case, if thousands of thousands of users will be connecting at 12:01. So this virtual machine might get overwhelmed, and so the CPU, RAM, network will all be overwhelmed if you were anticipating 2,000 users and it becomes 20,000 users here. 20,000 users are connected to the virtual machine. So obviously the CPU will be used a lot, RAM will be used a lot, network will be used a lot. And if the users keep coming more, and then so you see in the live monitoring that, oh, there are 20,000 users connected. Oh, now in after 1 hour there are 25,000 users connected. After 2 hours there is 25,000 users connected here. So obviously the machine will ultimately freeze or crash. So what happens is that Azure VM scale set checks that CPU threshold, whatever the CPU threshold is, whatever the CPU threshold is. Oh man, there's so much fun moving this. Right. Anyway, so CPU threshold is reaching, suppose 70%, right? 75% threshold is reached. Now you put that value in the Azure VM skill set that if CPU threshold reaches more than a certain percentage or certain number, then create an exact clone of this virtual machine and divide the users among the two virtual machines. So suppose there are 30,000 users after 3 hours midnight are connected. So 15,000 users will be distributed among the virtual machines automatically. Then the users are actually increasing, and in fact, also see that when the users from 30,000 goes down to 15,000, the CPU hasn't gone down from 75%, so it is still above 75%. So it's going to create a third virtual machine, a fourth virtual machine, and keep on dividing the users among all the virtual machines. While there were 30,000 divided into two machines, then the users are still increasing because they are still coming for deals here. Maybe there are 40,000 users now at the fifth hour. So you are still creating more virtual machines there until there are enough number of users, and still, and the CPU threshold has gone actually down from 75% to suppose 70%. It has gone down to that. So in that case, um, you will be seeing that it won't create more machines. Suppose at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, there was a sudden surge of users looking for more deals there, and all of a sudden you see a total user of 20,000. So yeah, it will keep on creating more virtual machine. Now there is a limit to that too, because when you create a virtual machine that is an exact clone of this web server, obviously this virtual machine, CPU, RAM, network storage, they are all being charged, obviously. So when automatically your business is not stopped, that's the main benefit here. And if there are more and more and more and more and more users, the more virtual machines are getting created. So first, you can decide that during the scale set configuration, that how many VMs maximum can be created. So that's one thing you can decide. And second thing is decide. So this is called scale out. Uh, in scale out process. Then there's a scale in process. That, do you want to enable scale in as well? Oh, scale in. Okay, scale out is that the virtual machines are getting multiplied. Exact same web server clones are getting created, and users are divided among those clones. But then what is scale in? So scale in would be the exact opposite of that, and you can put a scale, you can put that as well, the percentage. So scale out percentage. Suppose you put CPU based percentage, it could be also network bandwidth based percentage, like how many users are connected. Oh, it's more than this many users, create another virtual machine. You can base it on network bandwidth as well. But here, suppose you base it on CPU. If the CPU has reaches a certain level of percentage, then the scale out. So scale out percentage CPU 75%. So suppose you put 75% or 80%, CPU goes more than that, scale out, which means keep creating more clones, keep dividing those end users to those clone or copy virtual machines. Scale in is the exact opposite of that, scale in percentage. So suppose you say that if the CPU of any virtual machine is less than, suppose, 25%. If the CPU goes that much down, then scale in. Oh, what is scale in? Scale in is that suppose the CPU of this virtual machine, now it's the morning time and all the deals are consumed, all the main deals, and lots of orders have been placed for after midnights in till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Now there's not much traffic, right? So it the CPU keeps going down, down, down until it's over 25% or even less than that. Then the virtual machine automatically gets deleted. So whichever virtual machine has less than CPU or 25% will be automatically deleted. This means that you did not lose the business, you did not lose the customers. When there were less customers, you're not losing money because your machines are still started for a long time and they're just started. I mean, the business going on, you're busy in other areas. You can't just really concentrate on, okay, which machine has no user, so I should shut it down or I should delete it. So automatically the scale set deletes up the machines if it's not being used. 25% means it's not being used. Not much is happening here. So it starts deleting the machine. But all of a sudden in the morning, again, there was a surge of customers. Again, there were all machines are more than 75%. So it will again scale out. You can put the maximum for scale out as well, as I was saying. That, okay, I understand that I will have a lot of clone machines, but don't create more than 30. So Best Buy, it depends on the company and depends on the last year performance. You could actually have some kind of careful guess there that, hey, and don't create more than 25 machines. Suppose. But the good thing is, it's not that when you're setting up the scale set and then you decide. Even during the whole performance going on, you see that, oh, actually it's going to easily reach 25 maximum virtual machines and it's going to go more than that because we have so many. We have 60,000 customers right now. So you can change during that process, go to the scale set and simply change the maximum to 50 machines, suppose. Right? Okay, so David says in the chat, does it create the cloned VM with the same host name or it gives a different host name? In that host name, there's just an increment of 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. So yeah, it handles it that way. And okay, so you can just change that 25 VMs to any time during that purchase going on, during the Black Friday midnight sales going on. You can change according to the reports. You can put it to less. Oh, maybe we're not going to reach 25 all night or even the daytime. It seems like we're going to reach like 15 virtual machines because one virtual machine can take like 1500 to 2000 users depending on your CPU and RAM that you put for each virtual machine. So you can anticipate that, oh, it's not gonna never reach gonna reach 25, so you can make it less, you can make it more. So that's how scale set is. But scale out is more clones will be created and traffic divided. Scale in is that clones will be deleted if there is no traffic. So you don't lose business, and you don't have a dent in your budget as well, because now so many virtual machines are created and customers are gone, but the virtual machines are still running. No, virtual machines are also getting deleted, so your money is also saved. So that's a pretty cool feature. This feature is called auto scale in AWS and Google Cloud. This feature is called scale set in Azure. So, okay, so that's the whole explanation of this. Let's quickly configure one. And what we're going to expect is that it's going to, we're going to put that maximum, the scale out percentage to maybe 10%, because we don't have anything, right? So, but later you can experiment by, if you really want to keep it to 75%, then you can put some kind of software there that makes the CPU busy, or just open a lot of YouTube channels and do a lot of games there online. So it would make the CPU busy. We will just put it to 10%. So 10% is needed even to start the Windows, right? So if it reaches some kind of CPU threshold, it's gonna multiply. All we need to see in this scale set is that does it create a clone out of the first machine? I'm gonna go maximum 10 clones, or even if second clone gets created automatically, we're good. Okay, so David says, what is a vertical and horizontal scale out in? Okay, so vertical and horizontal. Vertical scale out means that you upgrade this very machine from a certain CPU, RAM, network to more. So suppose it was the dual core or quad core, and you upgrade its vertical to 16 core, right? And it was 32 GB RAM, and you vertically go for 128 GB RAM or 64 or something more than this. And you had bandwidth something, and you increase the bandwidth. You had storage, and you increase the storage as well, right? So that is vertical, and horizontal is so this is V, this is H. So horizontal scale out is exactly what we talked about. That it just creates another one and another one and another one, but exactly the same virtual hardware parameters are put to all the clones. They are exact clones of that, apart from the SID and IP and the name. Obviously, that has to be different if they want to work on the network. So yeah, vertical scale out is you upgrade the very machine. Horizontal scale out is that it just duplicates the solution. O and K. So now uh, we it's not a very big lab, but no, we got half an hour left. So I'll just thing is that this could come in the interview. Whatever you understand best would be always something that you will benefit from. And then repetition is the golden key. The more you repeat the labs, the better. Okay, so skill set. Let's just configure that. And for that, I'm just going to go back to the lab here, and skill set. So here I'm in the skill sets. I searched in the search bar here and typed skill sets, and then the virtual machine skill sets came. I'm going to go for create, and then let's go for create here. So basics, create a virtual machine scale set. Basics, Azure virtual machine scale sets lets you create and manage group of load balanced VMs. Now, load balancing is a separate lab that is coming, so we're not doing load balance. Even if we do load balance, then where do we get that huge traffic, right? So it becomes a pretty complicated lab. So the easiest way to check if the scale set actually works, and then also if the scale set, how is it configured and does it really work? Does it multiply? Does it create another clone automatically? That's what we need to understand here. How does it work? So for that, let's just create this is gonna create a virtual machine, and then we're gonna tell it in the scaling page the parameters, the configurations. Uh, okay, so I'm just gonna go for create new resource group because we got rid of the previous resource group, which should not be charged. So RG, and it's 12 November 2022 dash samosa. Okay, samosa is a spicy snack with was inside. What am I talking about? Okay. So yeah, it's okay. And then virtual machine scale set name. So your first name, VM scale set. You can just name it anything else. And then yeah, it's Canada Central. Availability zone. So in the in our next lab next week, obviously the load balancing lab, we're going to be using availability zone feature. Now, it also offers availability zone. This means that hey, when you're creating some clone VMs of this VM, so do you want to keep it in one zone or do you want to keep it in multiple zones? Because load balancing does support multiple zones as well. So in the load balancing topic, I'm just gonna use all three zones or two zones. But yeah, we're gonna create two machines or two zones we're gonna use, but right now we don't need that. Orchestration, a scale set has a scale set model, defines the attributes of virtual machine instances, size, number of data disks, etc. As number of instances in the scale set changes, new instances are added based on the scale set model. So in the scale set model, that one configuration that you're about to say now for the first virtual machine, and then you have to decide what number of disks you want, what size of the virtual machine in terms of RAM and CPU you want, because all its clones will have exactly the same configuration. So whatever charges you accumulate on the first machine obviously are the same charges on the all of the machines. But you don't want to lose business, right? Because suppose you're Best Buy or your Canada Computers or you're some other big company, and you're expecting millions of dollars of inflow, right? So you don't care about certain cents per hour uh, on increased 32 GB RAM, and maybe they will charge you what a few $100. Yours instead you're getting few $1 million. Obviously, you will go for the best size, best RAM, best CPU, best storage, best bandwidth. Uh, so you could earn millions of dollars because users, if your machine performs bad, users will not stay more than 5 seconds on your site. That's or even less than that. It's not loading. Okay, let me go to another site for a good deal. Oh, there's a good deal, and they just purchase it. You lost business in 5 seconds. 5 seconds or less of slowness loses a customer. Maybe that customer was buying 5 headsets worth $100 each. Okay, so that's a big loss, right? So anyway, you can't afford to have bad performance when there's a lot of customers and there's so much competition outside. Okay, so orchestration mode, uniform, optimized for large scale, stateless workloads with identical instances. And then there's a flexible, achieve high availability at scale with identical or multiple virtual machine types. Okay, in English, what it means is that stateless and stateful. What is that? So it says stateless here. So you have a virtual machine here, and there are actually load balancing going on here, and this is going to be discussed in the load balancing topic as well. So there are virtual machines, and there's LB or load balanced virtual machine connected here. So a user or you connect to an IP, balanced public IP, or a name. Suppose it's bestbuy.com. And behind that is an IP, obviously. So you just simply go to the bestbuy.com and it connects you to any of the virtual machines. Suppose it connects you to the first virtual machine. Now you have opened some windows there. You have dropped down some you have some drop downs there. You're comparing some products there, right, with prices, and the session is going on. all of a sudden you're disconnected. If it was stateful connection, then when you connect back, it would have remembered your IP that you're coming from, and it would have saved your session, and you would just simply, after you got reconnected, you will still have your open windows, your comparison list drop downs all saved, and you can continue from there. So if it was stateless, then it will not remember your permission, it will not save your session. And when next time you're connecting, maybe after a few seconds you're connecting, it's going to connect you to a new server, and you just have to start over again. So stateless and stateful, there are those differences there. So it's just saying uniform experience or flexible availability at scale with identical or multiple virtual machine types. This is also related to how do you want to scale, or how do you want to increase the number of virtual machines there, and achieve high availability at scale with identical or multiple virtual machines. So identical instances, multiple instances, is just uniformly it's going to scale. Here it's going to be flexible and go a bit more with better speeds. I'm just going to go ahead. Security type, standard. Yeah, this is okay. Otherwise, you want to go for more security. We're going to talk about that in AZ500 course as well, the security of everything. Which Windows 11 Pro, okay, we may be going for Windows 11 Pro with a what? With Hyper-V, no, with IIS installed. That's the web server, right? The IIS is Internet Information Services web server that hosts your website. So yes, you can go for Windows 11 client side, but normally here, if we are giving the example of Best Buy or Canada Computers or anything else, so obviously it's gonna be Windows Server. Actually, in reality, it's gonna be either SaaS-based hosts or Linux-based hosts. They cost less, right? Anyway, so on 64, we talked about all that. Run Spot, no, we're not going to Spot instances. It's going to perform better, vCPUs, 8 GB in our training environment. And I'm going to give a username password because we have to give, but we're not going to actually log in. We're just going to see if they duplicate, right? Let's see, go to 1, 2, 3, okay. Yeah, I confirm that I have a license. Okay, let's go ahead. Don't have a license, we're going to delete that. Yeah, the disks are okay, working. Okay, so there will be one VNet created there, virtual network, and there's one subnet that was created. We're not doing any load balancing now, but later load balancing lab is coming still. Scaling, that's where the action is. When we go to scaling, so initial instance count 2. So this means that if there is an initial instance count, just means that it will keep minimum 2 virtual machines, right? Initial instance count. Suppose you go for initial instance count as 5. All the time it has to keep 5 virtual machines. So what does that really mean? That means that if by mistake somebody deletes one virtual machine, but scale set checks that I am supposed to have initial instance count of 2. So even if by mistake somebody deleted it, it's gonna automatically create a second virtual machine to keep the count of 2 always valid. Right? So initial instance count, whatever you put there, that many virtual machines will always be there. So scale with VMs and Spot VMs. Spot VMs are, we talked about that you're getting the hardware, underlying hardware, half the market price, but they can delete your virtual machine anytime if they get a better priced client. Okay. So we're not going to go for Spot instances. Manual scaling. Then there's auto scaling. So we're going to go for auto scaling because then we can see a lot of options here. It says minimum number of instances. How many you want? That has to be exactly the same as initial instance count. So I'm going to go for minimum. I need to maintain two virtual machines all the time. Maximum, how many you want? Okay, I'll go for 8. Not the auto only customer. So next says do not see auto. Guys, anyone else following? Do you see auto as well? Says, okay, Fawzia and Nick, do you have still the free trial? In free trial, I did that actually. Okay. So it's the pay as you go, right? A free trial. Although it should not depend on that. It's paid. Okay. Paid. Okay. Oh, that's not good. What is the change I made that you did not make? Or I don't know. I can see auto scaling just reactivated my subscription. Oh, well, okay. Maybe you were creating Naveed the subscriptions and in the background it may have been created and did not show. It could be a lot of maybes here. I'm not sure. Guys, I'm going to go back to previous, and you can compare the configurations here. So Azure Subscription 1, new resource group, you can see auto scaling. Oh, okay. So Naveed can see auto scaling and he's on, there you go, I guess. Like me. So, yeah. So you can just compare, is it Canada Central? Just try to check that. Do not give any availability zone. Although that doesn't really mean anything. Uniform and standard security. I hope you didn't change that. It's Windows 11. Maybe you have Windows 2022, which also doesn't actually. Auto scale must come at any cost. Do not click the squad instances. D2S. It's different. Just make it same, but also this doesn't depend. Obviously, you have to go ahead. You have to click this icon from if you have Windows 11. You must click this over there. Okay. Just nothing changed here. So let's go ahead. Networking, nothing changed here. Scaling. Yeah, so it should be there. Hey guys, if you don't see that, close it, refresh the browser, start again. And you should see that there is, I don't see any reason why you would not see that. Is it go? Yeah, anything you do anywhere else, this always comes. So it could be just um, just not showing there for only few of us. Sometimes it happened to some students that for no reason it's just not showing one option. I hope, and we are all on Canada Central, that's for sure. So just close this, refresh the browser, and log in again. Otherwise, ultimately, sign out from all the browsers tabs, close the browser, open the browser, and start over. Then the worst case scenario, clear the browser history, sign out from all the browsers, clear the browser history, and open the browser. And the last thing, restart the machine and then try again. Whoa, that's bad. Okay, David says in the chat, does the auto scale only deals with the CPU? No, it deals with bandwidth. I'm going to show you now. It deals with more scenarios as well. Bandwidth, especially inbound bandwidth, outbound bandwidth. Then I'm going to show you more. So guys, here it's let me record that still. 143 is very less time left, right? So it's still recording, so you will always have it, and we can troubleshoot later as well. Guys, here CPU threshold 75%. It's already on 75%, but for the training purpose, for the recording of this, I'm gonna put it down to 10%. Why? Because that's the starting of the Windows might need 10%, might go more than 10% of CPU. And if it goes more than this percentage, it should then duplicate the virtual machines, right? So we want to see scale set works. And scale set works if it just creates one more extra machine automatically. This proves that skill set works because the threshold of 10% CPU has been breached. I would even take it down to 5% just to prove that point because it's training environment, right? Duration in minutes. So what is the duration that you want to wait for it? It's going to go for 1 minute. Okay, 5 minutes. It says that, hey, 5 minutes. So create another one after 5 minutes. If you see that the CPU threshold is breaching that value, after 5 minutes, create another one. That's what it means. Number of instances to increase by. So when it does create another one, do you want together 5 instances created? Do you want 2 instances created, 2 new instances created together? Do you want 10 new instances created together? So I'm going to go for just create one more instance after 5 minutes if the value of CPU has reached this. And scale in. So obviously I'm saying that percentage is 5, so 10. So if it is 4%, then scale in. Scale in means it automatically my virtual machine if it is more than whatever this percentage of CPU is below this, right? Virtual CPU. Obviously, I need a result fast, so I'm just going for ridiculous percentages here. Diagnostic logs from auto scale, so obviously storage account will be created, will be charged. So I'm not clicking that. And scale in policy fault. Balance across availability zones and fault domains, then delete VM with highest instance ID. So it's just saying that how do you want the instances to be deleted? The older ones first or the newer ones first when it comes down to delete, or whichever is on the other zone, zone number 3, are deleting them first, then zone 2, then zone 1, or instance ID is given to each new instance. So according to the latest instance ID or furthest instance ID or highest instance ID, there's 01, there's 02, 03, then there's 20, three virtual machines, right? So go for the highest, which means first delete the 20th, then the 19th, then the 18th. So however you want to start deleting them if the threshold is reached. O and K, I'm going to go for management. Thing in management. Oh, I don't want boot diagnostics. I don't want a storage account created. I'll disable that. Enable system assign managed. No. Login. No. Over provisioning. Enable provisioning. Management. I just disabled boot diagnostic. Enable provisioning. Enable automatic OS upgrades. No. Over provisioning. With over provisioning turned on, the skill set actually spins up more VMs than you asked for, and deletes the extra VMs once the requested number of VMs are successfully provisioned. Over provisioning improves provisioning success rates and reduces deployment time. Not build for the extra VMs. That's a very good thing. Suppose you said provision 2 VMs and they're being provisioned slow. So it will over provision because it sees that you really need more VMs because there are so many end users connected right now and CPU is going sky high. So it's going to over provision if you select that. So this means that you said, hey, create 2 VMs when we need it. It might create 5 VMs when you need it. It's not going to charge you for the extra 3 VMs. So it just is in favor of your business. Very cool. It says, sorry, I missed last scale in policy. What did you select? This is the policy here. Your number of instances 2. So 2, 8, 10, 5, 1, 4, 1. See, so simple. So 2, minimum number of instances, maximum number of instances 8 or 10 or 20 or 30, whatever. So it's going to go to these many VMs. CPU threshold 10, duration is 5, number of instances by increase is by 1, scale in for 1. You got it? Right? Oh, I can just take a screenshot of that and put it in my profile. So I'll put it in WhatsApp anyway. All right. So I'm gonna go for yeah, management. So in management, I only disabled boot diagnostic, no other change. Yeah, health. So it's very important, guys. Health is that the monitoring application will let you know, let the skill set know which machine to send the traffic to and which machine not to send the traffic to, right? What does that mean? Right? So the health monitor will check if your web server, there's a IIS server installed. This is a web server on top of which you install a website. This server application hosts your website. So it has a specific path here. So the monitoring application checks that path of each virtual machine if the IIS server is still there. If the folder path has IIS server files, this means it is there, right? So if the machine crashes, if the machine crashes, then monitoring application will at once report that it's crashed. So hey, skill set, don't send traffic to this dude, this guy here, this virtual machine here has crashed. I cannot send packets for 2 consecutive heartbeats, and it don't send traffic. So when it comes back, then you can actually um, no, I'm pressing delete here. It does not delete. Anyway, so and when I come here, then it's not really. Now it is up. Hey, skill set, start sending traffic to it. So this monitoring has to be configured, and then okay, let me just okay. So Naveed has shared a screenshot that is health. Oh, hey, Naveed, you were saying you had health. Yeah, you have to click. Go ahead and click. Click. That's where I am also. Okay. Okay. So here, um, yeah. So automatic repair policy. Before enabling the automatic repairs policy, review the requirements for opting in. Enable automatic repairs, grace period. So you want to repair the machine within 10 minutes. Suppose there is some kind of problem with the machine and is repairable, and yes, it's going to repair it as well. I'm not enabling that. The thing is that yes, monitoring application will keep sending the heartbeats there, and it will report to the skill set whether to send the traffic to that virtual machine. If it is up, and don't send the traffic to the virtual machine because it is down, and I cannot send heartbeats or packets to check that if the machine is up or down. So it's the health of the virtual machine. So it's mucho importante. Advanced spreading algorithm, maximum spreading, fixed spreading, not recommended with zones. So we haven't deployed zones, but enable scaling beyond 100 instances. Wow. So 100 instances. It goes to maximum, like spread right away 100 instances, or try to go as far as possible, because we don't know how many customers per minute are joining during the Boxing Day deals. So it could be in minutes, thousands of customers could be connecting. We don't know, right? So that's why you want max spread or fixed spreading, like spread in tens and then 10 more, then 20 more, then 30 more, then 20 more after that. Yeah, we haven't deployed any zone. In one zone, our virtual machine is right now. Across the zone, we cannot go for fixed threading. In one zone only we can go. So we are in one zone only, so it's okay. VM applications contain application files that are securely and reliably downloaded on your VM after deployment. Each into the application files and install script are included in the application. Easily add or remove applications. Okay, it's just saying that, hey, you want, oh, this we discussed before, right? So all this, no, we don't need that. So on advanced page, no change. Tags, nothing in the tags. Review plus create. So what are we expecting now when we create this scale set? We're expecting minimum 2 virtual machines already, and then we're expecting another one automatically getting created. I'm just gonna click create and create. Okay, initializing deployment. Initial 2 virtual machines should be there once it is done. After that, then we refresh. No, it the percentage has to breach for it to show the other machine. CPU percentage has to breach. Can skill set be applied to existing VM? I don't think so. But skill set is a pretty planned up thing. I mean, existing VM, that's a good question. I have to check it out. Well, I'll just get it here. Can Azure skill set be applied to existing VM? Yeah, Microsoft must have answered that. For Azure skill set can define the configuration. All going to chat that it is. It applies to all VMs. Okay. Well, can you add an existing? Oh, there you go. In a nutshell, to convert a single VM into a scale set, you need to capture a generalized image of the VM and copy that image into the storage account you'll use for the set. Deploy a VM scale set with a custom. Yeah, exactly. So remember that we deployed, we created template out of a virtual machine in last class. We have to go through that process of that. So you want an exact copy of an existing VM to be created as clone. So yes, this is possible, but that existing virtual machines template has to be created. Then it has to be added to a scale set. Yes, then exact copies of that existing virtual machines will start getting created. So answer is yes, but you do create a template of that existing VM and use that template to create more clones within the skill set. Yes, that's a very good question, and yes, it is possible. Where are we? Deployment is in progress. So it's gonna create minimum 2 virtual machines now, and it's it should the CPU threshold is 10%. Sometimes I had to, in previous batches, I had to actually put down the CPU threshold to 5% even, just to get another virtual machine automatically created. And so after refreshing a couple of times, it even took time for the 5% to be breached. And it does take 5 minutes to start another virtual machine. Seriously, it's 2 o'clock already. So the thing is, yeah, it's gonna get deployed now. Since I need to complete the video just to show that another virtual machine got created, and then I'm gonna delete the whole thing. So anyone who wants to go after 2, you can go. Otherwise, you're gonna stay. You can stay. To you. But just wanna record the result in the video, so I need to say. Depo says in the chat, a quick question, please. Can we deploy a resource like Cosmos DB database on Azure portal? Maybe next class instead of Windows Server 11. Okay. Oh, David says complete for me. Okay, cool. So No, so Oladapo, we're going to be deploying databases separately, but normally I deploy Windows database. Cosmos DB database, when if you want to deploy, I mean, it's a SQL server. Uh, y- no, Cosmos DB is not even a SQL server. Obviously, it's not Microsoft. That's NoSQL. So yeah, I mean, deploying it, no problem. It's just that I'm doing some lab and it has to play some part in it, and it's not a database class. Normally, what I do is I deploy a SQL server, then we remotely connect with SSMS, right? Then for that is for SQL Server, and for NoSQL, yes, we will deploy then Cosmos DB. But I'm not a big database fan. So yeah, deployment, yes. Administration side requires deployment, but other than that, I think I have to check out that what else to do, how to connect to it. We'll do that. I'll try to prepare that lab because I teach SQL databases, just the administration side of that. Microsoft Microsoft Shop, but we'll try the Cosmos DB as well. Okay, sure, no problem. So here, guys, it is deployed for me. I'm gonna go to. I can click the go to resource as well, but I'm gonna go for scale set. It is in the search, right? So if I go to search, there is that scale set in the search history, and it is also in the recent services virtual machine scale set. It is, and you can see that there's a two instances already created. I'm gonna go inside. And where are the instances? Because instances will show here, 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 here. Okay. Oh, third instance is created. Okay, bye bye. Okay. Now, so creating third instance because it breached the 10% CPU level threshold. It breached it right away. And if we had Windows Server 2022, it would have taken more time. Thank God we selected a lighter OS just to see the result faster. So initial instances got created. And after that, it created the third instance. I told it to keep it to 8 maximum instances, but yes, guys, again, I was saying one more thing here that during that scale set creation, and you're seeing, yeah, everything going well, then you realize that no, I want to change some scale set settings. So scaling option is here as well. You can click that, and that's it. So manual scale. So initial instance. Initial. It's not initial. Initial was 2. Instance count total is 3 now. Predictive auto scale is disabled. You will enable that. Here you can change percentage of CPU, scale out and scale in, and increase by 1 or increase by 5 or increase by 10. You can do that too. And minimum instance count you can change whenever you want. So during the scale set also, you can do pretty much all the changes you want. Right? So if I go to the instances again, okay, so Naveed says in the chat, why is it showing unhealthy because of less percentage we selected? Unhealthy is that the monitoring service takes time to communicate with all the virtual machines. It sends heartbeats, it then receives the heartbeats, and then it gets a report ready. It takes time for it to show healthy. Otherwise, yes, they seem like pretty much healthy to me. Refresh. Oh, there you go. Another machine because I asked them to increment by 1. So 1 by 1, they're increasing. So the threshold is being breached again and again because it's just 10% CPU. So it sees, oh, it's above the threshold. Okay. It keeps on creating more automatically right now. So refresh, and it's all about refresh then until it reaches the number of 8 machines. And we can always change the scaling from here. That's pretty much it for the skill set. There's a much longer lab coming, which is load balancing. And then we're going to go for storage topic the next week. It gets very interesting because there's so many services in storage topic. And then we're going to go for networking after that, then database, and then we're going to switch to easy 500 course. So still a long list of labs your way, coming your way. And okay. So, oh, another one. Woohoo. Okay. I think this is happening fast because I did not select a server. Otherwise, whenever I selected a server instead of client, Windows 11, so it always took much longer time. All right, guys. So this is it, and Naveed has shared a screenshot, and it shows 2 out of 3. So that's good. Very good, man. Instances 2 out of 3 succeeded. Yeah, the 2 are still getting created because it gives you the blue sign. This means they are still creating, and the other 3 are of 3. So 1 is already there. Okay, there you go. Okay, guys, so enjoy the rest of the weekend. And yeah, for those who are, we have a cricket match, World Cup cricket match going on tonight. So, okay, anyway, so yeah, that's it. And still keep on growing. And now there are total 5 machines. Now, how to delete them? All right, so David shows 4 machines there. Okay, scale set works and it's cool. We're good. And let's see how to delete it. Deleting is made very easy. So deleting is that you go to the resource group and simply delete resource group, everything inside that's deleted. Oh, seriously. Another resource group, why is it still there? The key thing to me. Oh, Azure replica. It didn't give an error. Anyway, okay, so there are more machines. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the resource group in which the scale set lives. The scale set is in this resource group. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So go to the resource group and go to the delete resource group and then select that. And delete. So the whole scale set with all the virtual machines will be deleted this way. So that's pretty cool. While this is going on, I'm going to go back again and try to delete that Azure Site Recovery. Recovery normally is a pain in the neck. So that's hopefully it's not proving that to be me. I'm going to delete that resource group again. If there's an error, well, check it out. Please no give error. Oh, what an English. Please no give error. So David says here in the chat, I was unable to connect to the VM created because it is only showing private IP. Yeah, we didn't configure public IP first of all. Second thing is it's supposed to be behind load balance, environment, and we were not planning to really connect to that, so we did not trigger the RDP there. With private IP, you can connect only 2 ways. One is VPN. Second is so VPN lab is coming in the networking topic. Second is Bastion. Bastion and VPN both lab are coming in networking topic. So yes, we can connect to those machines with private VM, private IP. We can give them separately manually, not separately manually, but we can configure that in skill set to give them public IP, but we should not because one public IP is supposed to be there for the load balance, load balancing IP. From that IP, they are redirected to the private IP. So how to connect to the private IP based VM? Yeah, that would be very interesting. 2 big labs, Boston, and the second is VPN point to site from laptop to Azure. How do we connect private IP based VPN? Oh, with VMs, guys. So it's kind of deleting now. I don't know why the others did not delete. So let's initiate the delete process and see you next week with more interesting lab and repeat labs. Try to go for some simulation sites. I've given one simulation site in the last class as well. It's actually free as well. So you can click, 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 and you will at least learn ways if you don't want to do that on this one. Yeah, that's the real environment, and that's how we learn, really. Suggestion if it gives you like maybe $10 per month, that's still good. It's enough to learn. Or some students even got more than that, but they kept on doing the labs to learn properly. Okay, so okay, guys, have a nice weekend and delete it, and see you next week. Bye. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Taz. All right. Thank you. Bye bye. I'll stop the recording now. And bye bye. Thank you. Okay. So, okay, sure. We'll check. And bye. Thanks. Bye. Check screen. Oh, yeah, 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 check screen. Sure. So, after the class, we can. Oh, I got us. Got it. Addition of resource group. Blah blah. Do not finish with allowed time as resources will identified. Blah 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 blah. Cannot be deleted. The provisioning state of the resource code will be rolled back. The track ID is this. Please check the logs. I have to separately delete the providers and take care. Oh, Nick also has a same so network interface, blah blah blah. Is used by existing resource. In order to delete network interface, it must be disassociated from the resource. Okay. Learn more. See. Okay, we need to disassociate network interface. It's in the network watcher. Okay. Gone. Are you kidding me? Okay, yeah, okay, I'll go in. This is not done. And this is the network, it's just a disk. Okay, where's the, okay, cleaned up, working on it now, and cleaned up. All right, cool. Pollock. Hello, Pollock. I think you're in the wrong class on the wrong day, but welcome. Okay, so, um,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm going to enroll in cybersecurity. I'm so sorry.
okay, no problem, no problem.
Anyway, how are you?
Great. Yeah, just finishing the class for Microsoft Azure, and you're always welcome to join that and tell the other students in Hamburg. No
Okay, all
problem.
right.
Oh,
No, not an issue. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye bye.
sure, sure. Thursday, bye-bye. Okay.
Bye.
Start the disk export. Oh, okay. Disk export here. Oh, yes, there you go. You're right. Cancel export. It should resolve it. All right, I think it's done. Yeah, successfully cancel the export. And yeah, it's just nature. Okay, great. So thank you, Nick, for that. And if I go back now, it should be re-resolved. I'm just going to try to delete that manually just to make sure. Uh, oh, how do I delete that now? Yeah, there you go. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Deleted. Um, deleted. Okay, yeah. Right, where to go? Unique and delete a resource, and that's it. So it's just a name that's going to be deleted. So obviously it should. Another deleted. Order. Uh, did I not delete you? Yes, you. think it's just the refresh button. Refresh. Yep, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Like, seriously. All right, guys. So this is it. Now this is it. So yeah, we're good. And yeah, for you, if you want to share the screen or after the class, up to you. But bye bye, everyone. And I'm gonna stop the video now.